right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safer Liquid Beer for the podcast.
Be right again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
It's the 6 o'clock and check-in. Come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static AM radio. It's the Cool Bev Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in. He's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday morning. Nielson with you from the Delta in Winnipeg. What's happening? You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Lieutenant Eric is on a much-deserved vacation, or as he like to call days off. He didn't want to call it a vacation because he's just going back out to Saskatchewan, but it's days off for LTE. So no other choice. I am doing the show today and tomorrow from the road. And you know what? Actually, the upload speed at the Delta in Winnipeg is really blowing my mind. I checked it last night when I got in, made sure I get all the equipment set up. Look, I got the conch. Boom. I got everything. I got everything we need to do the show here today, which is great. And no, I'm not sleep. What's this? Cosmic. I've got the old iPad out, and that means I've got live thumbs up updates. There's 51 of you watching here at the start of the show. I'm only seeing 28 thumbs up. Unbelievable. By the way, we did hit 9,600 subs yesterday. Cosmic Rhubarb says, Dusty's looking sleepy AF this morning. Someone get him a coffee and a cruller stat. Coffee and a cruller stat. That is indeed a Wayne's World line, isn't it? I think that's a Wayne's World line. I might be wrong, but I think it's a Wayne's World line. We got actually, because I'm doing the show without LTE today, we're going to have more YouTube Trev, obviously. Trev becoming a star on the oil stream this week. But we had kind of jammed up the show today. We got a lot going on. I'm a busy one today. You can text us Paris Jewelers inbox. Still got access to that bad boy. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And this is good. Justin is in. We're going to have to put this on the map. Good morning, fellas. Listening not live from North Bedeke, PEI. Listening live from Bedeke, PEI. Family vacation. Have a great show today. Justin, you have a great family vacation in North Bedeke, PEI. I think that's terrific. Some of my buddies at TSN are watching. They thought I'd have some morning chicken tenders here in Winnipeg. I had chicken tenders last night in my room. I was bagged yesterday, just absolutely exhausted by the time I got into town. And what an adventure yesterday was for me. It kind of sucked the big one. I'm not gonna lie. Got into flight was okay. Sat next to a guy who had a cool new device. And I usually don't talk to people on planes because I don't like talking to people on planes. I'd rather just go about my business. I was prepping for the football game, and I was watching Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's our classic Matthew Awanek comparison. Man, Nightcrawler's a good movie, isn't it? It's a fun one to watch in the plane because you look around and you think, man, who would I hire, barely pay anything to, and then set up their own murder on this plane right now? So I was watching Nightcrawler, but this guy had this device called a Remarkable, and it was like an electronic sort of notepad that you could write stuff on, and then file it to a cloud, and eliminate the use of notebooks moving forward. I mean, if I was a notebook company, I'd be very, very nervous about the Remarkable. Now I know people are like, Dusty, you can do that on a bunch of different devices, but I saw this one and I looked at him and kind of was like, the hell is that all of a sudden? So me, once I tracked down one of these Remarkables at some point.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Cause I love you. Oh, I love you, John. Oh, I love you, Son.
So that was a good thing. That was on the plane. That was a good thing. But I get into my hotel room, and I knew it when I was leaving yesterday. Tammy was like, "Do you have everything?" And I was in a rush. I got home at like 2 after oil stream, and then I had to leave at like 2:30, and I hadn't packed yet, and I was just in a crazy rush. And I was like, "Yeah," I went through my mind. I was like, "I got everything. I have everything I need." And then I get here to the hotel room, and I open up my bag. I was like, "I better set up all the equipment to make sure I have everything." Guess what I forgot to bring? A webcam. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So then I had to take a cab to a Staples, buy a webcam, come back. I get back here, realize I didn't bring the tripod for said webcam, and I also didn't bring a light. However, I have like one light on in this hotel room right now, and I have to say the lighting is terrific in here. This is terrific lighting. Very surprised by the light. So it was a long day yesterday. Long day yesterday. So, but I had a decent sleep. I slept like 6 hours last night, which is more than I ever get at home. So I'm pretty fired up today. Look at this. We got a busy show. We're going to have lots of stuff to get to. You can text us anytime. Paris Juniors inbox at 780-218-9999. Here's the other thing I have here. Okay. Cause this was the other mess yesterday. This would have been an absolute disaster. So I'm at the airport yesterday. I get there. Thank God for the Nexus card. I don't think I would have made my flight yesterday without Nexus. So I get through, had to take a leak. So I go to take a leak, and I put my play-by-play board up on top of the urinal, take a leak, wash my hands, walk out. Didn't even think about the board. Left it right on top of the urinal. Walking through the airport with my 2 bags, not even thinking that I'm like, if I don't have that, I'm screwed. So I'm sitting there, and some lady kind of comes up to me. She's walking by me. She sort of smiles, and she goes, "Dustin Nielson, you're my favorite guy." And I was just like, "Oh, hey, thanks. Yeah, that's nice." And then I was like, I wonder if she knows me from CFL and TSN or Edmonton Sports Talk. And then my brain went CFL and TSN. And then I went, where the hell's my board? So I like literally ran back to the bathroom as fast as I could. There was a really old guy at that urinal that I was at taking a leak, and I didn't want to wait because my plane was going to be boarding right away. So I reached over his shoulder while he's pissing, and I grabbed the board and I sneak it out. And I swear to God, I don't even think he knew I was there. I'm a very sneaky boy around urinals. And it was bullet dodged. I don't know what I would have done if I got here and I was like, oh crap, I forgot my play-by-play board. Like that would have sucked the big one. So yeah, yesterday was a little bit of a train wreck. So I was finally happy to get settled in here in Winnipeg. 51 thumbs up. Let's hammer that as we work our way through the show. If you need a conch this morning, we can definitely do that as well. 780-218-9999. Here's one more twist for you. I'm on an adjoining room. So it's got like the door, like you could open up doors. And the guy next to me, I could hear him talking yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, this poor bastard." Tomorrow morning when I'm up, now it's after 7 o'clock here. I'm not going to feel too bad about it. But guess who is in the adjoining room here? None other than one of my best friends ever, Glenn Suter. So Suits is going to get a full dose of the Nielson Show today, and maybe in a different world, maybe tomorrow we open up those adjoining doors and he comes in and joins me on the show. Wouldn't that be something? That'd be pretty good. I'll get your morning announcements coming up. Trey Ford spoke yesterday. Glue Guy was there. Glue Guy was in the scrum yesterday. Trey Ford, he was fired up. Like Glue Guy's transitioning into the media, hadn't really been involved in a scrum before, and he was there yesterday. So we're gonna get to a little bit of that coming up here after 6:30 this morning. We have a new company hopping on board with our 6:30 sports update, which, by the way, YouTube Trev is going to be handling all the updates today. What a week! What a week for YouTube Trev, eh? Trev, how, like, first of all, oil stream, fame, and fortune, and now reading updates right here on the show. You must be very fired up.
Yeah, I am very fired up. It should be good. I'm a little nervous, but excited. It's good.
No
nerves.
reason to be nervous, buddy. No reason to be nervous. You gotta pop that sports read cherry at some point, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that what they say?
I do for sure. It's been a long time coming. This is one thing I've shied away from. Reading has never been my strong point. I suck at reading, man. So when you were away for doing the Spangler and whatnot, LT was like, "Hey, like, would you mind like giving me a break and doing that?" I'm like, I kind of was like, "Oh man, I don't know. Like, if I can say no, I'd love to say no." He's like, "Okay, I'll do it." And then next week, Zach was doing them, and then I'm like, gosh, I probably should get on that as well. So, yeah, cherries popped today, and I can't wait for it. Nasties. Don't rip me too hard. X-Ray J says, "Don't F it up." Well, I can guarantee you, I might say. I might stutter once or twice, but it'll be fun. I got some humor in these bad boys, and it should be good.
It's just a matter of getting it done, bud. Just rip that Band-Aid off, right? So
yeah,
the
nerves are there. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's the same thing with pre and post. The first time I got brought on with Tommy and Gager when I was doing player of the game, just like out of nowhere, I was like, oh my gosh. And then yesterday, or I guess on Monday, when you were like, hop on Oil Stream with me, I was excited. There was nerves, but yesterday I was a lot more comfortable. And yeah, I do the first one, and then I'll be good. I'll be good for the other 4 or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right, if you're excited for YouTube Trev to do the sports updates today, hammer that thumbs up. We're closing in on 100. We might change 100 by 6:30. Who knows? Crazier things have happened, right? And also, I mean, how about Trev? How about 9,600 subs? Yeah, I think we're going to take a legitimate run at the 10,000 before the 1-year anniversary. I think it's going to be close.
Absolutely. I'm liking our chances a lot, Dusty. So Zach and I, we're going to go up to the drawing board. We have a few ideas of content we want to push out for videos. So that'll help for sure. And then along with the video, the interview, the great video that I just had so much fun producing.
Yeah.
That did really good. So if we could do more videos like that, which I've got a hunch that we're going to, the Nasties love them. They love the behind the scenes, which we were doing. So definitely, if you like that as well, drop a comment down below, because we had a lot of fun doing it. And if you guys are loving it, we'll continue to do it, obviously.
I think I was just thinking about it last night for the next one, because you've got kind of a concept for the next one, but we don't want to reveal too much on. But I see it as like from the guys who brought you the interview.
Yeah.
And then it's like the arrival, like I think that should be, it's kind of fun having we can do whatever we want over on the YouTube channel. So it's kind of fun having you. It's like we're film producers, it's like
we're on our way. Yeah, I think so.
I guess it's technically what YouTube is. So yeah, that should be pretty fun. 6:30 sports update today will be the first one of the day. We've got another company hopping on board with Edmonton Sports Talk. Huge shout out to Nisku Glass. Hey, Nisku Glass, this is for you.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Because I love you. Oh, I love you, John. Oh, I love you, Son.
That's pretty good, right?
Never gets old.
Welcome aboard, Nisku Glass. If you have basically what I learned yesterday, I was browsing around their website, niskuglass.ca. Anything you have that has glass on or in it, if it needs to be replaced, Nisku Glass can do it. We're not just talking about well, by the way, they'll come pick up your vehicle and then get it done, then bring your vehicle back to you. Like, what is this, 2024? That's amazing service. But we're talking house windows. We're talking heavy machinery windows. I'm going to test them. I'm going to find something that is very, I'm trying to think, what's a rare glass object? You might want one of those glass vases that you blow and then smash it and take it down there in all pieces and just hey, can you guys fix this? Let's see what you can do. So Nisku Glass, now a part of the Edmonton Sports Talk family, and happy to have them on board for all of our glass needs. And you know what? The old the old Nielson truck has a couple of chips that might need to get repaired. So we'll give them a call at Nisku Glass. So we'll get to that as we work our way through the 6 o'clock hour today. Morning announcements coming up for 100.3 The Bear. Craig Button's going to pop by today. Button's going to be doing color with me at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup next week. And he knows all these guys. I mean, Button's been watching these kids since they're 14, 15. So Craig Button's going to join us. We'll talk about the star level of Gavin McKenna. What are the comparables for this kid? This guy apparently is must watch hockey. So if you need that fix, if you need that midsummer hockey fix, tons of action at the Hlinka Gretzky next week. 4 games a day technically, because they got one game going on over at the downtown community rink, but 3 games a day at Rogers Place from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the medal round on Saturday. So looking forward to doing that tournament. I haven't done hockey since the WHL championship, but that was a lot of fun, and really looking forward to working with Craig Button. I worked with Button at I think it was like the U17s in Medicine Hat 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. And just a riot. I mean, we have him on the show every week. We know he's the best. But yeah, he's fun to work with on color. So Button's going to join us just after 7 o'clock today. We'll start the stat out. We got to dive into the Draisaitl contract stuff with Craig Button though too. I don't know. I don't know how much there really is to discuss with the Draisaitl deal. Highest paid player in the league on an 8-year term. Like what more do fans need to discuss? Is it going to come in at 13.4 or 13.7 or 14? I mean, that's really it. It's not like we're sitting here going, can they bring him in lower than Matthews and McKinnon? Of course not. Why would Draisaitl accept that? If he does, that's a little bit of a hometown discount, because he should be making the most in the league, at least until Connor McDavid's done. So we'll get into that with Craig Button as we work our way through the show today. Cool But Canada hotline of the day. What are we going to do? Oh, I don't know. The CFL game I'm working tonight. Of course, that's what we're going to do. We're going to dive into that, take a look. Hopefully some player props will be up over at CoolBet by 7:25, and we'll get into that a little bit. BC Lions and Winnipeg Blue Bombers here in the PEG, I think they call it tonight. Wanted to go to the baseball game last night with Huss, but like I said, kind of a stupid travel day and setup, so wasn't able to make that happen. Marshall Ferguson's going to pop by, one of my fellow CFL and TSN play-by-play men. Going to get Ferguson's thoughts on expectations for Trey Ford. I know we talk, like everybody's, so far this week, the conversation's been like, yes, they're going to Trey Ford. Yes, they're going to Trey Ford. So as an Elks fan, for all of you listening or watching right now, what expectations do you have for Trey Ford? Like, are you honestly thinking he's going to roll into Riderville and beat a really good Saskatchewan Roughriders team? And if he doesn't, are you going to be like, no, I'm sad and I'm disappointed in him? Like, I don't think that's fair. So what are your expectations for Trey Ford? We'll get into that with Marshall Ferguson a little bit as we work our way through the show this morning as well. I got beef coming up at 7:45 today. We'll have kind of easy trivia from Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. That hurts for SBLLP, your personal injury lawyers. Geroy Simon's going to pop by, the general manager of the Edmonton Elks. And, of course, Edmonton is off to Saskatchewan to play the Riders in Regina on Saturday. Myself and Suits will have the call on that one as well. And we'll talk to Geroy about were they leaning on going to Trey anyway after an 0-7 start, or was it simply the magic that he put together late in a blowout that officially forced their hand here a little bit? And what type of patience will they have with Trey Ford? And this horrible start to the season cannot just be hung on the quarterback MBT. There's a lot of different issues here. So we'll get into all of that with Geroy. He'll pop by around 8:30 today. Scalding hot takes will be more of a conversation than hot takes today, because Lieutenant Eric is away, but Lieutenant Eric right now is a dual champion. Lieutenant Eric has the mitt. Lieutenant Eric has the pot holder for head-to-head. So Trev and I are sitting around going, what are we going to do? So scalding hot takes today. We will discuss what we do moving forward when the champion of both prizes is gone. So we'll get into that. If you have any ideas on that, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Then we'll get into the wrap, of course, for William Huff. How about this chair I'm in today? Hey, see this nice, big, comfy red chair? We gotta have these types of chairs in the studio, man. I'm living the life right now. This is great. Sheldon S is in. It says, housekeeping. You want me fluff your pillows? Right? That's a classic line. Tommy boy, man, does it get any better than that? Hey, that's outstanding stuff. All right, 780-218-9999. If you need a conch this morning, that would be great. Old Nielson says, your dedication to the show is number one, Dustin. You and Trev have a great show today. Well, I mean, if Lieutenant Eric was around, I certainly wouldn't be doing the show. It's not like I'm like overly dedicated, like no matter what. But he's not. So somebody had to do it. So here I am. Kind of got my name on it. So I should probably be there. Library Pat is in and says, YTT, you're going to be just fine today on those updates. The evolution of an EST mainstay. Oh, that's kind of nice. Hey, YouTube Trev, look at this.
Yeah, that's very nice. I'm just practicing, getting my reps in on the update right now. But
Big Maple says, just picture us all naked, Trev.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. That sometimes works, eh? Not bad.
Yeah.
That's
a good one.
I was going to say, Dusty, did you happen to check out, now that you're following Zacticum, only took you, what was it, a week? I'm just joking. Only took you a few months, but did you see what is now out front of the EST Global HQ? We've got.
Actually, I muted him yesterday, so I didn't see the turf that is now done. I thought he's not muted, but I did see it. And what's he thinking? He's going to run routes. He's going to run routes on me. I mean, I'll just take the pass interference flag and lay him out.
I think that's the play.
Yeah.
But so many fun activities we can do out there. We can literally have picnics. I'm looking forward to it, and the race that needs to be settled. We've got a perfect spot now.
Is there enough room there to do the race?
It would be a short race.
It's probably not far off what you guys actually did.
I don't think so. I was expecting to go way further, so I think it's really close to
close.
It is.
That is close. Oh man, Awanik doesn't want anything to do with a rematch. He might talk a big game, but I don't think Matty wants anything to do with a rematch in the race with him, Zacticum Trev, and YouTube Trev.
Yeah.
Just a debacle. Down at Remax. 780-218-99. Box Pounder says, one small update for Trev, one giant leap for EST. Oh my goodness.
That's a good one.
How about this? Edmonton Sports Talk, developing broadcasters right here, right in front of you, right now. Like it's fun time. I also saw Zacticum when he said, I'm gonna be running routes on Dusty here. And then Glue Guy chimed in and said, I'll lock you all down. And of course he should. He played safety for the University of Alberta Golden Bears. Like that's, if any of us caught a pass against Glue Guy, it'd be the most embarrassing thing in his entire life. Like none of us played. You didn't play football growing up, did you, Trev? Like
absolutely
I know Lieutenant Eric played a little bit of football in Saskatchewan, but I guarantee Zach didn't play football. We didn't even have a minor football program in Cranbrook. So yeah, Glue Guy would absolutely torch us. That being said, I'd like to try to catch a pass. Problem is, I don't think I have faith in anybody else in the office to throw one. So we'll see.
I will say, before Zach's appearance in basketball this weekend, or I guess on Tuesday, when we were at the tailgate, it was the first thing I've actually been like, I raised my eyebrow. I'm like, Zach he can throw a football. He can actually throw a football. I was pretty surprised by that. So he threw
real football or a little football?
Yeah, no, an actual football. He threw a few good spirals. We were like,
wow.
I don't know, we weren't that far, but he was accurate and he had the spirals going. So I told him, I was like, this is the first, where did you learn to? He's like, I threw the ball a lot growing up. I'm like, you can actually kind of tell. So he's got a surprisingly good
Holy
arm.
smokes.
I will give him that.
Wow. Zacticum continues to surprise us, doesn't he? That's exciting. All right, let's get in your morning announcements here for 100.3 The Bear. If you missed it yesterday on the Oil Stream, Trev and I dropped our Olympic line combinations on you. And that was a fun oil stream yesterday here at high noon on Edmonton Sports Talk. So go check out the oil stream if you missed it yesterday. Check out the podcast. You can find it all at edmontonsportstalk.com. Go back and watch the archived episode here on YouTube as well. We are 17 likes away from changing 100 here right before 6:30. So if you're watching it and you haven't hammered the thumbs up, I know a lot of you will pop in for like 20 minutes or so and then take off. There's obviously a lot of hardcores who will stick around for the entire show. But if you're just doing a pop in, you might as well pop in, give the thumbs up, and then slide out for the day. Canadian women's soccer team, man. Unbelievable. They get the job done again. Anthony Edwards yesterday. What was our Cool Bet Canada hotline of the day? Anthony Edwards, the Ant-Man. Over 12.5 points. Guess how many he finished with? 13. Cash it. I'm pretty sure he finished with 13. I know he at least had 13, but I'm pretty sure the final number was 13. So that was a little bit sweatier than I thought it to be. But in the end, we ended up getting that done. So that was exciting yesterday. There's nothing like cashing a mid-summer Anthony Edwards U.S. Men's Olympic prop. Yeah, that just really fires you up. So that was exciting yesterday. We'll have the lock shop today. It will be Maddie and Huss with CFL picks on the Hangout today. Jasmine's going to be in. Of course, Jasmine starting in September will be joining the boys as a co-host on the Hangout on a regular basis, at minimum once per week. We're hoping twice per week if her work schedule will allow it. She's going to be an absolute star on the Hangout. And we're looking forward to that. So she's going to be in today on the Hangout, which should be a lot of fun. And then Matty Wannick on Two Guys and Goalie with Cass and Gager later today as well. And of course, starting in September, we might have to play the interview again today. Who wants to see the interview again? I think we could probably play the interview here in the 6 o'clock hour. I don't know why we couldn't. So the Reed Wilkins show will start at in early September, run every day from 3 to 6. And we are working on the midday host right now, that 1 to 3 spot. This is me right now sitting in the big chair trying to figure out what to do in the 1 to 3. And good news is that we've got a couple of people that you would be somewhat familiar with who are interested in the role and hoping to land at least one of them, possibly both of them, but I'm not sure HR Daddy would give me the financial approval to hire 2 more hosts. But who knows? We'll see. Anyway, I think things are trending in the right direction for 1 to 3 show as well. And I have to tell you, AM Nasties, I'm pretty excited about it. So that should be a lot of fun. You know what else I'm very excited about? Welcoming Nisku Glass to the family. If you've not yet checked them out, Eric's going to have a little bit more info on them as we work our way through this. Or not Eric, YouTube Trev, have a little bit more info on it as we work our way through the update that's coming up. But their website is absolutely awesome. If you have not had a chance to check it out yet, it is just from I just don't think a glass place should have a website that looks that nice. niskuglass.ca. Real nice. You can request a quote. They've got the heavy trucks and equipment glass, on-site replacement for heavy equipment glass. Come on. This is ridiculous. Automotive and light trucks, residential and commercial. My neighbor just got all new windows. I wonder if they got that done at Nisku Glass. Well, YouTube Trev's going to have more on that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big moment right here. I don't want to put too much pressure on the guy, but he's smooth. Let's get to it. Let's get to a sports update for Nisku Glass with YouTube Trev. You got it, buddy.
Here goes nothing. CFL Week 8 kicks off tonight as the 5-2 BC Lions take on the 2-6 Blue Bombers. A guy by the name of Dustin Nielson has the call on that one. Not sure who that is. I'm just joking. Kickoff starts at 6:30 Mountain Time in Edmonton. The Edmonton Riverhawks are in Victoria this fine Thursday. They'll be taking on the Victoria Harbour Cats before their 3-game series in Port Angeles over the weekend, which you can, of course, hear at edmontonsportstalk.com. Also in Edmonton, the Stingers play on Sunday in the West semifinals, where Zach DeCum will not be on the court for that one, which you can also listen to at edmontonsportstalk.com. Around the world we go. The Women's Team Canada soccer team won a big one yesterday as the Canadians come on top of this one by the score of 1-0 against Colombia. Vanessa Shields was the only one that got on the score sheet yesterday. She scored in the 60th minute with a beautiful header, and not a single drone was needed. Also yesterday, Canadian Ilya Haroun won bronze in the men's 200-meter butterfly. This was the first time a Canadian has ever won a medal in the 200-meter fly, which also means he set a Canadian record with the time of 1 minute and 52 seconds. Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime defeated Russians Daniil Medvedev 6-3 and 7-6 yesterday. The 23-year-old secured his spot in the quarterfinals after defeating the world-ranked number 5. It was Aliassime's first win over Medvedev in his last 8 encounters. The sports update is brought to you by Nisku Glass, where they can meet all your automotive, residential, and commercial glass needs. They offer free pickup and drop-off services for your vehicle and free estimates at your home and business, and have a 4.8 star rating on Google. They will service anywhere in Greater Edmonton and beyond. Give them a call at 780-955-7989 to meet all your glass needs.
Boom! Nailed it. Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you, Dusty.
Here's Jackson, you are for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, Here's Jackson, you are now the new interim head coach of the Edmonton Elks. They have a great receiving core. And now you gotta get the defense to stop a few plays here and there so you can win that damn football game. Real, for real, for real, real. The fan base wants a win, so let's get out there and do it, do it, do it. Let's get out there and get the up to win the Grey Cup. Celebrate with the boys with the 6 o'clock log. For real. For real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Let's go, Elks.
Oh, a little Atif, Jonty and Victoria. Jerry's Jackson song remix for real. Hey Trev, good job for real. You gotta be feeling pretty good about getting that first one in the bag, buddy.
I'd give myself like a 7, 8 out of 10. So I'll take that. Anything above a 6 I think is for real good. So I feel pretty sweet about it. I'm not gonna lie. The Nasties, everyone texting in, thank you guys for the support. That means the world. You guys are absolute beauties.
All right, there we go. YouTube Trev. Ladies and gentlemen, have you had time to get the Trey Ford stuff? It's okay if you haven't, but
so that's a matter of business right now. I'm getting it right now.
Okay, all right, grab the Trey Ford stuff. We're gonna get to a couple of things over on YouTube. If you like that update from YouTube Trev, brought to you by Nisku Glass. Once again, welcome aboard to the fine folks down at Nisku Glass. Hammer the thumbs up. We're almost to changing 100 here right away. Man, the Athletic just dropping this on us. Remember Jeff Merrick and Sportsnet parted ways, and the Athletic with a story today coming out. This is their tweet about it. In July, Sportsnet quietly parted ways with Jeff Merrick. It wasn't the kind of move that normally would have gone unannounced, but the reason behind it led to both parties to choose silence. Merrick has been questioned by the Nevada Gaming Control Board and NHL security for allegedly leaking which players teams were drafting moments before the picks were publicly announced, according to league and media industry sources. So, I mean, when a guy who's as talented as Merrick gets let go, you have to think that there's something going on here. And apparently not happy with the fact that picks were being leaked. And I know some people are like, well, if you're just tweeting out picks, how's it any different than Woj and stuff in the NBA? But I mean, the Nevada Gaming and Controlling Board and NHL security getting involved on this makes me think it was kind of tied into betting in some way, shape, or form. So anyway, that's the latest there. It's an interesting piece if you want to hop on that. The Athletic, who what's it cost, like $1 to follow the Athletic? I don't have an account anymore, but Interesting story development there. We'll see if/when Jeff Merrick lands on his feet somewhere, but maybe that stuff has to get sorted out. First. Calvin C says, guys, did they say that MBT is injured? Well, I mean, that was something that kind of popped up yesterday. That's it. I mean, if he is injured, then I guess we have to take their word for it if he's a little bit banged up. But it also seems kind of convenient that you're going to go to Trey Ford and then say, yeah, but also MBT's injured. So, like, is he injured to the point that he couldn't have gone anyway? Well, we'll get into it actually with Geroy. Geroy is going to join us around 8:30 today. I'll just straight up ask him, is MBT hurt? And if so, is he hurt to the point that he couldn't, like, I don't know, we'll get into that with Geroy. I mean, might as well have the interim general manager of the team on to answer that outside of just the speculation. Calvin C says, does it matter if Merrick isn't a part of NHL or any other NHL teams? Well, I mean, I don't want to get into a lot of the broadcasting talk, but I mean, and I really don't want to have to pay for the Athletic to get this full story either. But if the gaming commission is involved, this can't just be, oh, Merrick was tweeting out like the other guys what the picks were being. I mean, there's obviously more to this story here. And if any sort of insider information was moved along to somebody, then I mean, that would be why these people get involved. That's why somebody would probably lose their job. So, probably something that will continue to get sorted out, but yeah, don't necessarily know where to go with that one on Jeff Merrick right now. So I would probably think what happens is that he ends up with Saravalli at Daily Faceoff. I mean, that's the one that would kind of make sense. Merrick's got an amazing following, does a really good show. Obviously did something that was not allowed by Sportsnet or the National Hockey League, and land with Daily Faceoff and Saravalli, and probably be a pretty good 1-2 punch for those guys over there. So if they can get that done, that'd be pretty good. YouTube Trev is working on Trey Ford. We're gonna hear a little bit from Trey Ford here as well. I think we might rerun the interview as well. We might as well continue to plug the fact that Edmonton Sports Talk has landed Reed Wilkins, and Reed will be with us every day from 3 to 6. So we'll get to a little bit of that as we work our way through the show today as well. Also want to continue to plug this event that we are going to be a part of, and that is a charity street hockey tournament. Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned charity street hockey tournament? I've been in a bunch of charity street hockey tournaments in the past. Some of them have ended well. Some of them have ended in embarrassment. But hey, what are you going to do? August 23rd and August 24th at the Ritchie Community League for 2 days of 4-on-4 street hockey, all in support of the Edmonton Food Bank. One of the guys from the food bank reached out, and we're very excited about the fact that they're going to be supported by this event. So, this is Dav and the team over at Green Plan and what they do on the side with Northern Edge Athletics. Just great dudes. Want to have a charity hockey tournament and raise some money for the food bank. It's going to be real nice setup. It's going to be a licensed event. So there'll be a beer gardens, there'll be a silent auction, skills competition, a bunch of other entertainment going on there as well. You'll need a team of 9. So register your team of 9 today. You can go to edmontonsportstalk.com and click on charity hockey tournament, or you can just go to northernedgeathletics.com/tourney. And for when you enter, you'll get shirts. You'll get entry for the door prizes, entry into the skills competition, and a package that'll feature some skate sharpening and Northern Edge Athletics and more. So, the money will go to charity. You'll get a little something. You'll get to play 3 round robin games and then 4 playoff games for a total of 7 games between a 2-day event. 2 games will take place between 6 and 10 on Friday, and then the remaining 5 games will be Saturday, August 24th, 10 to 8. It'll be a real good time with your buddies. So yeah, hop online, northernedgeathletics.com/tourney or edmontonsportstalk.com. That should be a lot of fun. I got a few street hockey and ball hockey stories I can certainly get to as well, because and my favorite street hockey story in Edmonton, at least, we grew up playing a ton of street hockey, right? And my one buddy, the Brain, we called him the Brain, real smart guy. Anyway, he he lived in a trailer park just outside of Cranbrook. And one summer, and I think he was heavily involved in helping build it, because the brain, this was like in grade 8. But in like the middle of the trailer park, they built like a rink right there. And none of us ever had access to like a rink with boards in Cranbrook that you could go play street hockey on. And man, we played so much street hockey at that place. It was absolutely amazing. But my favorite street hockey story was the Play On event in that parking lot just north of West Edmonton Mall. Many of you probably would have played in this. And we were playing. It was it might have still been Team 1260 back then, or it was at least TSN 1260. But myself, I'm pretty sure Eric was there. Fraze was on the team. That's where the story gets interesting. Mark Majot was on the team. I think Taylor Medic was probably our goalie. Anyway, I get very fiery when I play street hockey and ball hockey, and so does Majot. And we were playing, and things started to get really chippy. And sure enough, like the other team, we just like, it was both sides. Like myself and Maj were not, we were kind of being pricks, and the guys on the other side were being pricks as well. And at one point, one of them either hit Mark or slashed Mark. And Fraze, who was wearing like gloves that you would wear to like do work around the yard. Like I was wearing hockey gloves. Majot was wearing hockey gloves. Fraze was wearing like these little like gardening mitts, and he leans over, like it was all set up with like the cage around the because there was like 16 courts or whatever, cage around the court, and Fraze leans over the top of the cage, and he goes full dad voice. I didn't have kids yet, so it was pre 2015. So dad voice, I had not developed my dad voice yet, and I was still a psycho. I didn't calm down until I had kids, because then I realized street hockey actually isn't everything in the world. And Fraze leans over and he looks down at the other team and he points at him and he goes, "You stop it now!" And I was just like, it was so ridiculous that it did kind of calm everything down, because like both teams are looked at him. We're like, "What the hell are you doing, man?" Like nobody steps out and tries to like punish us as a father while we're playing in this street hockey tournament, man. It was an all-timer, Trev. You had to
That's really good.
You had to be there to see it, man. It was it was funny.
It's almost hard to believe, because Fraze is such a happy-go-lucky guy.
Well, he wasn't that day.
But just to rip out the, "Hey, you guys stop it." Oh, I wish I was there. That's a good one, Dusty.
Van. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just to give you the heads up, Trey Ford is ready whenever you are.
Okay, we'll get to Trey Ford here in just a second. Van Owen over on the YouTube chat says, "I remember that. I remember you guys laughing about it on the show." Yeah, it was just so ridiculous. Like, everybody stopped. Like we all just stopped. Yeah, it was funny, really funny. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in today. If you're watching over on YouTube, Changing 100. Trev, you got that? Can we hit that Changing 100?
Changing 100.
There it is. Let's get to Changing 200. Hammer the thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube today. Nacho Man is in as well and says, "Turn your headlights on." That was another phrase sort of thing. And that comes up in the Nasty Bash song that has now been sent off to production. Trev, I fine-tuned the lyrics a little bit last night. It was probably about midnight last night, and I had exchanged text with the production company yesterday. I got very scared for a second, because the production company that we use to produce all of our songs that are like the ones that I write, not like John T. and Dallas and stuff. I went to their website yesterday, and then I emailed them, and I got bounce backs, and their website's gone. And I was like, "Oh no. So luckily I had one of their cell numbers, which I'd never texted before. I text the guy, and I'm like, "Hey dude, like what's going on with your company? Like I have a song that's going to absolutely kick ass, and we need it done like immediately." And I was just like, if I don't hear back from this guy, we might have lost the service forever. And then sure enough, he texted me back. He goes, "Yeah," he goes, "we had to shut it down, but," he goes, "I'm still kind of dabbling in it on the side. So if you want the song done, I still have access to all the same people." And I was like, "Perfect, done." So send it away. We don't want to give anything away. I did say it's a parody of one of the songs of the summer this year, and it just fits in very nicely with what we just did on Friday night at the St. Albert Rugby Club. Trev, I ran it by you yesterday, gave you some of the lyrics, not all of the lyrics. You were pretty excited about this, weren't you, young man?
I can't wait, man. I really cannot wait. I was listening to this song last weekend, having drinks, just with the fam, and then the weekend before. It's like it's such a great song. It is. I wouldn't even say it's one of the songs. I'd say it is the song of the summer, and if you know, you know. So I cannot wait for it. The lyrics that Dusty was able to put together, they just work so well.
This
is gonna be probably the best song. It's SD worthy. The Nasties are gonna love it. And it's just like the timeliness. It was just right. So I love it. I love it, Dusty. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, and I asked him. I put in the request via email last night, and I already got an email back. I said, if you could turn this around for Tuesday, because Tuesday I am on the show next week. And then Eric's back from vacation, and I'm doing the Hlinka Gretzky. So I don't want to have to do the show in 3 hockey games every single day. I'll do it one day. But yeah, he's like, we should be able to turn this around by Tuesday for sure. And I was like, oh, baby, I cannot wait. So hopefully the plan right now is Tuesday morning, we will have the Nasty Bash recap song that you will have stuck in your head for the rest of your life. So that's going to be coming up Tuesday on the Nielson Show. If you're watching over on YouTube right now, hammer the thumbs up for us. All right, Trey Ford. Trey Ford spoke yesterday as the new QB1 for I think he ended up speaking like 8-9 minutes. We didn't want all of it, but Trev cut up some good stuff. You hear a glue guy here with, I think, a couple of pretty good questions. So here is your starting quarterback heading in to Ryderville this week for the Edmonton Elks. It is Trey Ford.
Hey, what about the pressure that must come with this situation? I mean, you're coming into a team that's 0-7. The fans saw something that they haven't seen this season in a very small glimpse. How are you handling that? And walk us through what that's like in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel too much pressure. I always get nervous for the first play, though. I don't know why. It's just the first play, and then I'm good after that. But, like, pressure-wise, I don't feel like there's a ton of pressure because, I mean, I'm a young guy. We're 0-7. You know what I mean? Like, what are our expectations for our team right now from the outside world, right? They're not expecting a lot. I feel a little bit of pressure from our teammates and coaches and stuff because I want to, go out there and win and prove we can win with them. But the outside, if they're like, oh, Trey has to go throw for 700 yards and 8 touch, like, that doesn't matter to me, to be honest. As long as I can get out here, if I throw for 200 yards and 87% or whatever it is, as long as we're winning and they're getting the ball and doing what they can do, then I'm happy.
Well, and your last win came in Regina against Saskatchewan as a starter.
Yeah.
And you relied on different targets than what the fans have seen thus far, specifically your relationship with Gavin Cobb. That seems like you guys have a connection, obviously being drafted the same year, going through some injuries at the same time.
Yeah.
Can you speak on that relationship with Gavin Cobb as well as the wealth of talent you have at the wide receiver position?
Yeah, so I haven't actually got a lot of reps with Gavin at all. Which is kind of weird because, we are kind of in the same situation. But I got a couple with him today, and I actually love throwing to him just with how athletic he is and how fast he is. I mean, he's one of our fastest receivers, and once he's down the field, too, he has a 40-something inch vertical. So even if you throw it high, he's going up to get it, and then he's short enough to get the low one if you need him to. So he's definitely a dynamic receiver, and I love having him in our lineup.
Noticed, maybe KB's not playing this week, we'll see, but having the chance to work with Javon Leake and even with Rankin, and Javon was quite impressed with what he saw out of you, and it was like, it's neat to play with Trey finally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited to play with him for sure. I mean, just getting him the ball in space is going to be a big thing for us, so that's what I'm trying to plan on doing, is just getting him the ball and also handing the ball off and letting him hit those holes, right, and making people tackle him because he's a hard guy to tackle, right? And same thing with Rankin, like he's another dynamic guy. Just, I know he hasn't played in the game or anything, but even last week at practice and today, like, he's getting the ball, he's making guys miss, and he's also cramming up in the little holes and everything. So they're both dynamic backs, and I can't wait to see what they can do.
The intelligence and the instincts of Javon to go downfield and find an open spot for you, does that open your eyes there?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to tell the offense before I was going in, when I found out I was going on a sideline, I'm like, listen, like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it probably will. When I scramble, make sure you guys are running around because some receivers, they don't haven't played with me, then they just start watching. I'm like, no, you guys got to be running around, right? Because I'm always trying to keep my eyes downfield and find somebody for a big play.
There's scramble rules and there's straightforward rules.
Yeah, they're slightly different,
I'd asked this to your head coach as well, so I wanted to have your take on it. As far as the timing of the announcement, it seemed more and more that there's a wait before announcing who the starter is, especially in a situation like this. Were you surprised to find out as early in the week as you did, or were you breathing a sigh of relief that now you have the full week as the number one to practice with that unit?
It's definitely nice to have the full week to practice and, be ready to go out there and execute and know like what you got, what the game plan is, and have a chance to run those plays. But I mean, that's the biggest thing I've learned in pro football is it really doesn't matter. You just get thrown in a situation and you just got to make something happen.
There you go. That is Trey Ford. What do you think of what he had to say yesterday? Also, shout out to our guy, glue guy, Jason Milne. Not a lot of experience being in a scrum like that, and I thought he asked 3 very well-worded questions. I think in the media, and I'm guilty of it myself sometimes, I try not to because it absolutely drives me bloody nuts, and I get very angry with myself. And Morley and Dave, 2 vets in there. I don't think I heard it from them either, but like to talk about, can you talk about this? No. Ask a question. And I thought Glue Guy did a pretty good job actually laying it out there. So we got a new dog in the scrum down at Elks practices. One of the things you heard there, I think Dave Campbell mentioned it. Kevin Brown, a little bit banged up. He was limited in practice. You want to see him get going for Edmonton. I think they need him to have some success. Now they do have Javon Leake. You love him in the return game, though. He had one that was called back this year. Outside of that, hasn't really had a chance to explode that much just yet. But do you have to change your return game if Leake, let's just say Kevin Brown doesn't go this week, then Javon Leake becomes your number one running back. And if he's your number one running back, I have a feeling they're not going to be trotting him out there for all the kick returns either. So then you probably see Gavin Cobb and Dylan Mitchell slide into that role a little bit. The one thing with Trey Ford, and I know we've said it multiple times, maybe limit your expectations just because they're going up against the Riders defense. But the Riders defense last week, that team was rolling against the Montreal Alouettes. And then the Alouettes went to Davis Alexander, who had not played in the CFL before. They didn't have much tape on him. Now, the Riders have tape on Trey Ford, but Davis Alexander did some things with his legs that kind of caught the Riders a bit maybe unprepared for. They'd be more prepared for those with Trey, but can Trey use his legs to open up that Riders defense a little bit? I think he has to, honestly. If Trey Ford, you want to develop into being a good pocket passer, 100%. It'd be vital to your future in the league. But let's not take away what you do better than anyone in the league. And that is your ability to get out on the run. I mean, if you just become a pocket passer and people are just like, okay, well, he doesn't want to run, he doesn't want to be the threat of it, it's gonna limit your abilities. So the Elks hopefully have some things designed to, move the pocket, get Trey on the run out to his right so he could take off if he wants, or he can look down the field. I just don't want to, it would make no sense to me if there's not a bunch of design stuff for Trey to run in that offense. If they're just sitting there calling the same stuff they were for MBT, it would make no sense to me. You've got a cheat code athletically at the quarterback position this week. You better have a bunch of plays designed around him that you simply just couldn't try to execute with McLeod Bethel Thompson. I would hope. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Calvin C says, guys, I wonder what the contract would have to be to keep Ford. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's see what happens. Maybe Trey Ford gets the job here, and maybe he doesn't do anything with it. It's just not automatic success. So we can cross that when we get there. But I still think it's pretty positive that you're gonna finally get a look at him. I mean, it'd be insane if they didn't. Really. Oh, this is a good one. Daniel is in. It says, morning, guys. Was wondering if you could give my dad, Shotski Jerry, a conch, as it's his birthday today. Oh, Shotski Jerry, of course. Happy birthday, my man. That's good stuff. And the Shotski, Jerry brought the Shotski out to the Nasty Bash last Friday. And Trevor, are you still there when we pulled out the Shotski? I know you weren't drinking because you had to drive to see family.
Not there.
Were you there? Oh, man. I think I must have done 5 shot skis in a matter of about 10 minutes. It was the birdie booze.
Oh.
And also the shot ski is mentioned in the song. So it's I think I checked off like most of the boxes of significant things that happened at the Nasty Bash in the song that we'll hopefully have for you on Tuesday of next week. The Nielson Show, even when we're on the road here, brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. It's been closer than you think since 1983. Short drive to Fort Sask is worth it to find the best deal, the best price. Your go-to dealership for Silverado 1500s and heavy duties. Go check them out. South Fort Chevrolet, 10109 89th Ave, or visit their website, www.southfortchev.com. Not a long drive out to Fort Sask. Like, people will do anything for free stuff. Right? Like I could have a dresser that doesn't even have drawers in it. It's just a dresser. It's just the frame. I mean, I guess at that point, it technically wouldn't even be classified as a dresser because a dresser, I do believe by definition, must have drawers. But you could just have a dresser, no drawers. And I put that up on Facebook Marketplace and be like, free. And people from like Lloydminster are like, I'll be there. I'll take it because it's free. Right? Like, that's insane. So if you can save money on anything by just driving a few minutes out to Fort Sask, why would you not do it? Go see Daniel and his team at South Fort Chev, Silverado 1500s, heavy duties. If you want to become truck guy or girl, go check them out at South Fort Chev. If you tell them we sent you, they'll give you 15% off accessories on your new ride. How's that sound, right? That sounds real nice. Nielson Show presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Keep hammering that inbox today, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox, 22 locations across 4 provinces. If you have someone you love, you might as well buy them something that's shiny, and you can find that at Paris Jewelers. We've got Craig Button on the other side at 7 o'clock. Myself and Craig will be locking in for a bunch of hockey games next week at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. Very much looking forward to that. Very much looking forward to get my eyes on this McKenna kid. And we'll get Craig's thoughts on the Draisaitl contract here as well. But before that, we do have a sports update. Where's that sports update genius? There he is. YouTube Trev's got a sports update for Green Plan. We mentioned Green Plan. Dav and his team at Green Plan have become great partners with EST. We're working with them on that charity street hockey tournament as well. Trev will have more on that coming up with an update. Craig Button on the other side. The rest of hour number 2 looks like this from the Delta in Winnipeg today, where I know I'm jinxing it, but this internet this is nice. I've never had an upload speed in a hotel of like 50. It's insane. We talk a little bit more about the Gazdick events. Gazdik's coming into town for that charity event with Capital Care Foundation. Gaz is going to be on the show tomorrow at 7:35, I think. So we'll have him. Marshall Ferguson's going to pop by around 7:30. We'll get you your cool bet hotline of the day. And I got beef coming up. What do you got beef with? Text us your beefs to 780-218-9999. We'll get into that as well. YouTube Trev, let me know what's happening in the world of sports.
I can do that. CFL Week 8 kicks off tonight as the 5-2 BC Lions take on the 2-6 Blue Bombers. A guy by the name of Dustin Nielson has the call on that one. Kickoff starts at 6:30 Mountain Time. In Edmonton, the Edmonton Riverhawks are in Victoria this fine Thursday. They'll be taking on the Victoria Harbour Cats before their 3-game series in Port Angeles over the weekend, which of course you can hear all games at edmontonsportstalk.com. Also in Edmonton, the Stingers play on Sunday in the West semifinals, where Zacticum will not be on the court for that one. You can also listen to that game at edmontonsportstalk.com. Around the world we go. The women's Team Canada soccer team won a big one yesterday as the Canadians come on top of this one by the score of 1-0 against Colombia. Vanessa Shields was the only one that got on the score sheet yesterday. She scored in the 60th minute with a beautiful header, and you love to see it. Also yesterday, Canadian Ilya Haroun won bronze in the men's 200-meter butterfly. This was the first time a Canadian has ever won a medal in the 200-meter fly, which also means he set a Canadian record with the time of 1 minute and 52 seconds. Canadians Felix Auger-Aliassime defeated Russians Daniil Medvedev 6-3 and 7-6 yesterday. The 23-year-old secured his spot in the quarterfinals after defeating the world-ranked number 5. It was Aliassime's first win over Medvedev in his last 8 encounters. The Sports Update was brought to you by Greenplan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services, whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential. Plan it right with Greenplan. Visit greenplan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the buckets when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. To Tutti and Eric and all of the bad cats. Like Brzezinski and Noodles, Gavrik and Gagin. If it's just for a cool bed to make a little wager, we can't wait for the Monday mandate. Sharky's always on time. Tommy's always late. Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We want to hear some hot takes and we want to hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I want our kids away? Beat up the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macramella, Rappaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Father and my cousin and the tales of the North. I'll run a human person, Dusty go on. What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Boom. Boom. 7:04 in Edmonton. I'm in Winnipeg, and I'm in the future because it's 8:04 out here, I think. Yes, it is. In town for the Bombers and the BC Lions tonight. Keon Hatcher is back. Not that Vernon Adams needed another weapon with Justin McInnes and Alexander Hollins already at his disposal, but now they're mixing in Keon Hatcher, who in my mind is a top 5 receiver in the Canadian Football League. So a tough task for Adam Bighill and Willie Jefferson and Brandon Alexander and Wilson and Reddick Cramdy and Jamal Woods and Jake Thomas and Taiwan Garbutt and Tyrell Ford. Who else am I missing on that defense? Evan Holm, Dietrich Nichols, Terrell Bond. There you go. That's the entire starting defense for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Boom. I'm ready for the game tonight. All right. Let's see. Cosmic Rhubarb says, what time is Geroy on again? Geroy will be on at 8:30 today. Marshall Ferguson, 7:35. So lots of CFL discussion as we work our way through the show today. Just got this DM on the old Twitter. I need a new phone case, don't I? Look at this thing. This thing is banged up. But I love it. I love this phone case. Things you don't get at other stations. I love this phone case because it's got this little thing that pops out. So I can put it down and I can watch shows and stuff. But I need a new one. This thing looks like it's been through the ringer a few times. I didn't realize that until I just brought it up there. Anyway, Dave slides into my DMs on the social media. Says, listening in Cahokia, Missouri today. I bet you don't have a pin on your map for here yet. I do not. I'm going to screen cap this. I'm going to send it to Zacticum, Mapticum, and Mapticum can put that up there a little bit later on. Sarah Coles over on the YouTube chat. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube today, give us a sub. We've surpassed 9,600. The push is on to 10,000. But hammer the thumbs up for us as well. YouTube Trev, 2 for 2 on the update so far. And most important part of them, the sponsor reads. And he's hammered that so far. Nielson Show brought to you by South Ford Chevrolet. Check him out at southfordchev.com. But Sarah says, why do people always put my wife in capitals on the chat? Well, Sarah, let me take care of this for you. I'll show you right now. I got the clip right here. Barry Hinson, college football coach, on a rant one time, used my wife, and it stuck with us ever since.
And Marcus had an off game. Marcus was absolutely awful. That's about as PG rated as I can say it. He was awful. Our guards were awful. Our 3 starting guards had 1 assist and 7 turnovers. They must think it's a tax credit. It's unbelievable how our starting guards played. And let's talk about our big guys. 2 for 11. How can you go 2 for 11? My wife can score more than 2 buckets on 11 shots because I know my wife will at least shot fake One time. But those guys aren't listening. They're uncoachable right now. There was a sniper in the gym. Didn't you see that? I mean, we had guys falling down. I mean, we had a guy snipered at half court. 2 guys snipered at half court. It was unbelievable. I thought Navy SEAL Team 6 was out there. I mean, our guys were coming across it. I mean, just nobody around them and just fell down on the ground. How does that happen?
Oh, my goodness. We can have a lot of fun with this right here.
How does that happen?
Send us your how does that happen texts to the Paris Jewelers inbox. That's how you could get in the mix for that A&W text of the day. They got those frozen root beers right now, where if you buy one, you get a second one for free. No big deal. Anyway, that's where the my wife bit comes from. So just to bring you up to date. I forgot how overall awesome that clip was. That was a real good one. That was a lot of fun. All right, Craig Button's gonna hop on here, and we're gonna be working together next week at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. A lot of hockey coming down the pipe in the next week. I'm in Winnipeg for a football game today. Regina for a football game on Saturday. Back home on Sunday. Tournament starts on Monday. But luckily, I've got a guy who knows like the ins and outs of every single one of these players in this tournament. And Craig Button joins us. I mean, Craig, I guess I'm hoping you do because I'm not going to have a ton of prep time on Sunday.
Well, it's okay. Don't worry. I got your back. But, it really is an introduction to the young players coming up. The players that are going to be in the draft in 2025. And certainly we've seen a number of them. We've seen Gavin McKenna star at the U18 for Canada, so there's no mystery about him. And there's a lot of really good young talent here. But for you, for the fans, even for me, it's still exploratory in a lot of ways. You're seeing some players that you might not have seen a lot, and you're trying to build out what I call building out the dossier on these players, trying to, okay, what are their strengths? And they're good players. I mean, I've seen them at the U17. I've seen them in their leagues. I've seen some of them at the U18 because the younger players, the good ones, play up. So it's a really good scenario for fans to watch the next generation of players. I'm going to go back to 2018 real quick, Dustin, and 2 Edmonton Oilers that starred at the Hlinka Gretzky tournament in 2018, Philip Broberg for Sweden and Dylan Holloway for Canada. And just to give everybody a glimpse of what you can see. Now, those 2 players are finding their way right now, and people go, geez, that's a long time ago. Yeah. They both got drafted in 2019, but this is the normal course of things. It's 4 or 5 years before players really find their rooting, the vast majority of them. But that's what you're going to see here. You're going to see really top-notch players. And in my view, Gavin McKenna, who I'm prepared to, start using the generational term for.
He's that good, hey?
He is that good, Dustin. And
is there what's the comparable, Craig? Like, does he remind you of anybody, or?
I'm not. I mean, he reminds me a lot. He reminds me of a lot of different players. He's got a Kucherov-esque type quality to him. He's a sneaky good goal scorer. And people go, what do you mean by sneaky? Well, he's such a good playmaker. And he's so confident with the puck. But when you watch him play, if you sleep on his shot, he's going to bury it. And I mean, I guess there's no better way to put it than the hat trick he scored in the U18 gold medal game. He's just such a well-rounded player. And that's the early comparable. There might be a better one, but I mean, I think he's just scratching the surface of his abilities. He's not eligible to the 2026 draft. And I very well think that he could be right in the mix for Team Canada junior team in Ottawa come December. I think he's that good.
Well, I'm sure I'll freak out a couple of times calling some of his plays at this Hlinka Gretzky. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Now we'll continue with this team in a second, but you did mention the World Junior team. You were doing the show. You were watching the showcase, weren't you? Did you check that?
Well, I'm watching it tomorrow. So I watched USA Finland yesterday, and then tomorrow Canada. I didn't see the Sweden Canada game. I was watching the USA Finland game.
What'd you learn from that USA Finland game?
Well, so one of the things, Finland's in Canada's group. Finland isn't like Finland understands what they have available to them, and they're not going to have they're going to have skill in the top part of their lineup, but they're not going to be a team that's going to skill you deeper down their lineup. They're going to come with a big, edgy group. Yesterday's game, they beat USA. Now, USA didn't have Ryan Leonard and Gabe Perreault, Z Bullion playing, but Finland didn't have some of their top players playing either. Finland's going to come to the World Junior Tournament, and they're going to be a hard out. They might not be the most talented team, and we've said that about Finland before.
I was going to say, I think you just described every Finnish team ever hard out, right? Like,
well, they're going to be edgy. Like, you should have seen the game yesterday, Dustin. They went after the U.S. Like, yesterday's game for Finland against USA was a message that said, "This is what you can expect in our pool." And Canada is going to be in Finland's pool, so they'll get a taste of that when they play. So it's a really good opportunity to see how a team is going to be formed. And for the USA, I mean, their top players, they didn't play their top players or their returning players yesterday, but they have I think Canada, the US, and Sweden at this point in time are the three favorites. The three leading teams to compete for gold heading into the junior.
What about the age groups for those other two nations coming into this Hlinka Gretzky next week?
Well, Sweden is missing their best player. Anton Frondell very well could be the first overall pick in the NHL draft in 2025. He's got a Peter Forsberg type approach to the game. Now listen, Peter Forsberg was a great player, and Bob McKenzie uses the term lowercase. So I'll say lowercase Peter Forsberg, but Anton Frondell, who's just he's just a terrific player. He's rehabbing from an injury. And so he's skating, he's playing, but they want him to be really ready for when the season gets going in September. So they didn't bring him over. They know how good he is. He very well may be at the World Junior Tournament in Ottawa as well. But some really good players. The Swedish team at the U17 last year in Charlottetown was a really good team. They're big, they can skate, and they got some really good players. They're missing Frondell, but they have some really good talent on that team. They got a top goaltender. His name is Lovi Herenstam, and he played for Sweden at the U18 tournament as an underage, and he's a terrific goaltender. I mean, he looks right now like very well the best goaltender for the 2025 draft. So you're going to get a good look at him. The USA sends they don't send their national team development program players. They send their next group of players.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it during the tournament, but the reason they don't send their NTDP players is because they don't want the kids are young. They come into Plymouth, they get billeted, and they'd have to start billeting them in the middle of July. And then there's insurance issues and everything. So that's why they don't come to the Hlinka tournament, because it's full-time school. It's like a boarding school, call it, right? The National Team Development Program. They go to the public school. You're not going to bring them in and then send them home. And certainly that, we'd like to see the NTDP play. But, one of the things that's going to happen this year is the NTDP team is going to play 2 games against a CHL prospect group.
I
2
saw
games
that.
in November. Yeah. So there's going to be an opportunity for some best on best international competition there. Finland will be Finland. I don't think they have high end talent based on what I saw at the U17. Czechia is going to be really interesting, Dustin. Czechia has some really good players. Yeah, they do. They have some really talented players. A lot of the Czechia players end up coming and playing in the CHL, and certainly you're going to see some of these players in the CHL, coming into their draft year, but they're going to be a good team. Germany, Switzerland, a little bit tougher. Slovakia, they held their own at the U18, and with a lot of these players, I think they have 8 of the players that played at the U18. So they were a young team at the U18, but that experience is going to help them here. But those 3 teams, Germany, Slovakia, and Switzerland, are probably in that next group of teams. But it's quick, it's fast, and it's highly competitive.
As far as this Canadian group goes, everybody knows McKenna. I mean, if you just want to come out and watch McKenna, then make sure you come to the games at Rogers Place. But who would be the guys who ride shotgun with McKenna? Like, who are the other top end guys on this Canadian team?
Well, I mean, you had I mean, the line they had at the Hlinka camp, they had McKenna playing the left wing. They had Cole Reshney, who plays in Victoria, very, very good, smart player. And then they had Cameron Schmidt. Now, Cameron Schmidt is about a 5'8" winger, played in Vancouver last year, had 30 goals. Now, it's hard to score 30 goals in the CHL when you're 19, let alone when you're 16.
Jeez.
He's a diminutive dynamo. He's a diminutive dynamo. He is such a gifted player. He's so electric. And so, you know, that was a line they played together. They had Caleb Desnoyers. Now, Desnoyers played on the U18 team. He was the player that stepped in and took Roger McQueen's place after he got hurt. Roger got hurt at the U18, and Desnoyers was the first overall pick in the Quebec League 2 years, not this past year, but the year before. He's a driver. Emile Guité, he's an elite goal scorer. And, you know, when you watch that type of skill and you watch Brady Martin, you're going to love Brady Martin. Brady Martin plays in Sault Ste. Marie. He's a big, agile, hard-driving winger that, you know, is always in the mix. The puck's always around him. He's always driving the puck to the net. Matthew Schaefer is an excellent skating defenseman. Cameron Reed, excellent skating defenseman. You know, guys that can really make a really drive play from the back end. And certainly there's going to be some other players that can show their mettle, so to speak. But, you know, those are, you know, 7 players that I think are, you know, Canada's going to look, 8 players that Canada's going to look at. That, and when I say Canadian fans are going to look at it and see, okay, these are pretty good players, and they are.
Craig, one more for you before we let you go. You get a hotel room that has like a couch in it. I don't have a couch in my hotel room out here in Winnipeg. What's going on with this?
Well, I mean, you're going to have to talk to our lordship PG.
Yeah, well, he's actually in Winnipeg today, so I will talk to him.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I want the button room. I want the button room.
Are you at the Delta?
I'm at the Delta. Yeah, there's a classic Delta
so
here.
The Delta's great. They take great care of us. When I go in there to do Jets games and whatnot, I stay always there. But, you know, what I would say is this, he's taken over the top suite, so it wasn't available to you. That's all that's happened.
That's Trust me.
If he was here with me, he would have this room, not me.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Craig. Well, I will see you early next week, man. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for the time today.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be a fun time, Dustin. It's going to be a lot of fun doing this tournament. Thanks.
There you go. That is Craig Button with a TSN, great analyst, great scout, great color analyst, and he's going to be riding shotgun with me next week at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. Tickets are still available. It's going to be the best U18 hockey players in the world, in featuring Gavin McKenna, who you heard Craig say speaks very, very highly of him, and he did not hesitate to throw that generational tag on him either. So your first chance to get a look at him, right? So you got to be there. You got to get in. It should be a good time. Tickets are very reasonably priced. The Nielson family is going to be coming to the 7:30 game on Monday night, which is late night for the kids, but it's summertime. Marshall and the Muzz living their best life, sleeping until like 9 o'clock, 9:30. This is what happens when your kids grow up, right? It's so like they're 7 and 9 now. The other day, Tammy had to wake Marshall up at 9:30. It's just like, this is so, I didn't think we'd ever get to a stage where like they wouldn't be coming into our room at 6:30 in the morning, but it's happening, and I'm never there, but it's happening, and I'm very, very excited about it. All right, a couple of things to get to. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Feast on the Field. We're going to have Gazdick on the show tomorrow to talk a little bit about this event. But it's the Capital Care Foundation. They're hosting the Feast on the Field Charity Golf Classic with special guest MC Luke Gazdick. What a stud this guy is, eh? One lucky foursome will get to spend the day golfing at Red Tail with Luke. Capital Care Foundation believes everyone deserves to live with dignity, and they do this by providing positive mental wellness and a home-like atmosphere. And they do that with funds from events like these, the Feast on the Field and the Charity Golf Classic. It's going down August 14th and 15th. Feast on the Field is at Commonwealth Stadium. Charity Golf Classic presented by Gilead is at Red Tail Landing. For more information, hop on their website, www.capitalcarefoundation.net if you want more information on that. And we'll give you more information on that. Gazdick tomorrow at 7:35. Marshall Ferguson today at 7:35. Geroy Simon, interim general manager of the Elks. He's going to join us around 8:30 8:30 this morning. We will get to that. Right now, we're going to dive into a couple of things we can get to. Any reaction from what Craig had to say, of course, fire it over to the Parachuters inbox at 780-218-9999. Morgan is in and says, Dusty, wait until they become teenagers. It'll be closer to noon. My God. That's incredible. At that point, I'll be sad because I'll miss part of the day, you know? My parents, they love my parents. I mean, you're getting to know them a little bit around EST now, HR Daddy and Nasty Nana. But, I was a growing boy, and I would work like night shift in the summer at Save On Foods. And I'd get home and I think, I'm working and staying up all night. I should get to sleep as long as I want during the day. I'd go to sleep at I'd work midnight to 8, get home, lay down like around 9. And at like noon, my mom and dad would be like, time to get up. I'm like, I slept for 3 hours. What are you talking about? Let me sleep. So, yeah, like my wife, she talks about how her mom and dad used to let her sleep all the time. Like she'd sleep all bloody day. Not me. I had to get up all the time. I don't know. I've been perennially tired since I was like 10 years old. It's just, or not 10 years old, since like grade 10. I used to work 3 mornings a week before high school in the frozen department at Save On. So I'd go in, I'd work 5 to 8 in the morning, then go to school. And I'd like fall asleep in class. I've been tired my whole life. Like I don't know. It's, I don't know why they didn't let me sleep more. Now it's a big thing now. And I see my kids sleep. I'm getting all rattled that I didn't have a chance to sleep. The Bones is in and says, the Muzz is a hip hop dancer, Dusty. They sleep late. I could see that going. Big J to the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning, 780-218-9999. Boys, Dusty's in Winnipeg. He sounds like he's right in the studio with Zacticum. How is this possible? First of all, it's not Zacticum, it's YouTube Trev today, and he's nailing those updates. It's because, we've got the technology that usually runs pretty good for a couple of hours, and then will certainly blow up on us at some point later in the show. I mean, it's usually how it works when I'm on the road. Chris says, my wife finding another $25 deposit on the credit card bill to Coolbet. How does that even happen? Oh, yeah, the how does that even happen bit. Yeah, that's a good one. My wife finding another $25 deposit to Coolbet.
How does that happen?
Yes. Give me your how does that happen texts. 780 Dad bought Dan. This is kind of a good one. Jeff Merrick going 32 for 32 in the first round.
How does that happen?
I know, I laugh at the situation, but that's kind of a funny text. I drank 2 flats of 6 o'clocker lager and woke up in a pile of Whistle Dog wrappers.
How does that happen?
Lieutenant Eric's going to hate that he missed a how does that happen day. Red is in and says, Dusty has budget for a new song, but doesn't produce an Evander Kane goal song yet.
How does that happen?
Look, the this song that I just wrote 2 nights ago and sent off last night, this had to happen now. I mean, it's the Nasty Bash just happened. It's the summer. We need the track of the summer. So we decided to build that. So Jeff Jackson not only signing guys from last year's team, but adding new players to the team. Ken Holland's reaction.
How does that happen?
That one's pretty good. I like that one. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. That's only on EST could I be sitting in a room in Winnipeg reading some of these text messages that have been flying in so far today. That last one, the Jeff Jackson one, not even a handle on this person yet. Like they're so new that they haven't even come up with some sort of hilarious name. This is a good one. Adam in Quebec City this morning. YouTube Trev doing sports updates.
How does that happen?
Keep them rolling at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. This is a good one. I don't know how this guy, Eugenepsky, maybe. I opened a box of Upper Deck Extended and don't get a single card with more than a $5 value.
How does that happen?
Rob is it. Rob, this is a good one too. Dusty doing 10 shot skis at the Nasty Bash.
How does that happen?
Well, because it's this is a good one. Bones, this could be, I'm just writing down names here for possible text of the day here. Bones is a good one. Reed Wilkins leaving big time AM radio for Edmonton Sports Talk.
How does that happen?
That's a good one. I like that one as well. DB says, imagine how big Dusty would be if his parents actually let him sleep. I know, right? God. Dusty, how are you getting your kids to sleep until 9? We have an 8, a 7, and a 6-year-old, and they could stay up until midnight, and they'd still be up with the sun. Yeah, I don't know, Dave. I mean, our kids have been good sleepers. Like, we never did they never slept with us. They would go to their bed. We'd put them in their bed at 8, and if they were crying like crazy, we wouldn't be like, oh, come sleep with mommy and daddy. We're like, shut up and go to sleep. And, it just kind of works. So they're pretty decent sleepers. The Muzz does get up earlier than Marshall. Elizabeth knows, man, I love kids. Elizabeth knows the exact moment she wakes up every single day. Like I'll get home from work and I'll be like, hey, everybody, how was your day today? And Elizabeth will be like, Daddy, I got up at 7:34. Like she absolutely, I don't know why. And Marshall will yell out right behind, like he'll be around the corner of the kitchen. He'll be like, 8:15 for me, Daddy. It's like they have like a log. They get up in the morning. Marshall sits down at his desk and flips to the next page. Thursday, August 1st, 8:45 a.m. Like they keep track of it. I don't know, man. It's Trev. Do you make a note of when you get up?
No, never.
No,
that's that's their shtick then, Dusty. That's impressive. Yeah. I forget. I couldn't remember at all, Dusty. That's crazy.
Did you sleep a lot as a teenager, or were you like?
Oh yeah, like I was a complete opposite from you. I was going to chime in there. Grandma didn't like it too much when, like, I had late nights. I'd close down the bar. Sometimes be home at 1 or 2. And I'd usually wake up the next day, honestly, like 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Like I'd sleep in a lot, and Grandma would always be on me, like, come on, you can't sleep the day away. You're not going to get anything done. So it was tricky, but eventually I'd get up. So, but some days, like when I wanted to go fish, obviously I'd get up super early. But after some shifts, I just sleep in. Naturally, I like to sleep in for sure.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't, right? All right. I can't, though. Even on the road, like now, I do get more sleep when I'm on the road than I do when I'm at home. But I'll go to bed at like 11 or midnight after prepping for a game, and I'll be like, don't even have to set an alarm. I'll get up around 10 o'clock today. It'll be great. And sure enough, it's like I roll over, and I'm like, oh wow, I wonder what time it is. And I'll look at my phone, and it'll be like 5:50, and I'm like, oh my God. Then it takes me like an hour to fall back to sleep. Then I sleep for like another 90 minutes, and then I'm up, and then I still want to have a nap later in the day, and my sleep schedule is just screwed.
Yeah.
Just screwed.
I will say, since I started at EST, times are changing. Like last weekend, Saturday, Sunday, first Saturday off in quite a bit, but I slept in, if you will. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm getting old. Oh jeepers. And I was like completely rested. I was like, oh, like let's get the coffee going. Like it was weird how it's changing.
Technically, you did sleep in like an extra 3.5 hours.
I did.
So,
yeah.
All right. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. I mean, we're halfway to 300 here, halfway through the show. So let's hammer that thumbs up today. That would be great. Marshall Ferguson's going to join us right away. YouTube Trev has a sports update coming down the pipe. We'll get to I Got Beef around 7:45 here today as well. YouTube Trev, take it away, buddy.
CFL Week 8 kicks off tonight as the 5-2 BC Lions take on the 2-6 Blue Bombers. A guy by the name of Dustin Nielson has the call on that one. Kickoff starts at 6:30 Mountain Time. In Edmonton, the Edmonton Riverhawks are in Victoria this fine Thursday. They'll be taking on the Victoria Harbour Cats before their 3-game series in Port Angeles over the weekend, which, of course, you can hear at edmontonsportstalk.com. Also in Edmonton, the Stingers play on Sunday in the West semifinals, where Zacticum will not be on the court for that one. You can also listen to that game at edmontonsportstalk.com. Around the world we go. The women's Team Canada soccer team won a big one yesterday as the Canadians come on top of this one by the score of 1-0 against Colombia. Vanessa Shields was the only one that got on the score sheet yesterday. She scored in the 60th minute with a beautiful header. Up next for the women's team is Saturday matchup against Germany. Also yesterday, Canadian Ilya Haroun won bronze in the men's 200-meter butterfly. This was the first time a Canadian has ever won a medal in the 200-meter fly, which also means he set a Canadian record with a time of 1 minute and 52 seconds. Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime defeated Russia's Daniil Medvedev 6-3 and 7-6 yesterday. The 23-year-old secured his spot in the quarterfinals after defeating the world-ranked number 5. It was Aliassime's first win over Medvedev in his last 8 encounters. This sports update brought to you by the staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. His 2 daughters get so pumped watching Disney films. They love that they all have singing, dancing, and a part where the parents die.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as newborn 8-pound, 6-ounce Mitch Lewicki. You can picture grown-up Mitch, or teenage Mitch, or bearded Mitch, or whoever you want.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
All right, 7:34 on the Nielson Show, coming at you from Winnipeg this morning. Lieutenant Eric is on vacation. He'll be back on Wednesday. Nielson Show brought to you by Southfort Chevrolet. Go see Daniel and his team at Southfort Chev. Tell them we said you'll give you 15% off accessories on your new ride. Worth the drive for the last 40 years. Silverado 1500s, heavy duty, your go-to dealership for those trucks. www.southfortchev.com, 10109 89th Ave. I got beef for Acme Meats coming up. What do you got beef with? You can text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We will have the interim general manager of the Edmonton Elks, Geroy Simon, is going to join us in about an hour, so make sure you stick around for that. I see Fazila Moose is back over on the YouTube chat. Just so you know, man, Draisaitl contract not done yet. I know you check in every single day and ask about the Draisaitl contract. It's not done yet, so don't worry about it. We'll get to it at some point. All right, let's get to this. Marshall Ferguson, one of my fellow CFL and TSN play-by-play men, he joins us this morning on the show. Lots to talk about as we get set for another round of CFL action this week. Marsh, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
I just want to say shout out to YouTube Trev for crushing that update, because I remember when we started having cutbacks at TSN Radio in Hamilton, and they were like, "Hey, you're the update guy." I'm like, "Sorry, come again." Like, anytime there was an international event, I would just basically go to tsn.ca and be like, "Okay, who won the stuff?" And then start throwing together names, and then I'm sitting there at because obviously we're 6 to 9 a.m. morning show, typical hours, and I would be sitting there, Dusty, at 5:15 by myself in the studio going, I don't know how to say this person's name. Just so nervous that I'm going to butcher it. And then the other thing I want to say is nobody else is going to give you guys credit for this. The degree of difficulty of what you're trying to do right now with you in Winnipeg and then doing this show this way, I am so impressed right now. As soon as I came on, I saw, are you in the Fort Garry?
No, I'm in the Delta.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Delta, I saw random pieces of metal furniture in the background, so I thought it was the terrifying Fort Garry there in Winnipeg. But doing that from a hotel when everybody else is off in a different place and doing it through YouTube and all the rest, I'm good for you guys, man. I'm impressed. That's hard.
No, the tough part for me this morning is that I'm in an adjoining room, with the door that you could open if you had family staying next door.
Right.
So the walls aren't as thick, but it's Suits who's next to me. So when I'm up this morning, bright and early do the show, I'm like, poor Suits. He was doing a hit on
That's amazing.
Calgary radio last night when we got here. He happened to be walking in when I was walking in, And he's like, I got to do a radio hit. So I was sitting in my room and I could hear him doing his radio hit. And I was like, oh no,
Well,
like I got 3 hours of the show to do tomorrow.
That's awesome. I love it so much because I was fully expecting for you to say like, yeah, it's like some family next to me. And,
Yeah, no.
and you would be like totally worried. And then because it suits, you're like, oh, I'm actually more worried than if it was like a child over there. When I was in Ottawa last Friday for the Red Blacks Stampeders game, I had people like next to me. It wasn't one of those adjoining rooms, but I had people next to me. The children, I'm going to assume there was more than one based on the amount of screaming, did not stop screaming until like 2 a.m. Like, I don't know what they were doing, but the parents just could not get a grasp on them. And I was like, man, I thought I had issues with my little man, but I'm thankful that when we go to hotels, he just goes, I just want to go to the pool and go swimming. It's like, okay,
yeah, that's all you need. That's all you require. It's even like, you don't even need a big pool. You just need something they can jump in and swim in. And it's the greatest hotel ever, right? So
in Montreal, doing a bunch of games in the East, obviously, as you know, in Montreal at the Westin, they have an actual like ice tub. Like it's built into the pool area. So it's like, there's the normal temperature pool. And then over a little dividing wall, there's a hot tub. And next to the hot tub, there's an actual like cool tub. It's not ice, but it's like 60 degrees Fahrenheit or so. So it's pretty close to legit. And yep, I took my guy there for a July 6th game that I was doing. Again, I think it was Calgary and Montreal. And I basically exposed him to like, hey, when I played football, we would go in these really cold tubs and they make your body feel better. And so he would hop in the water and he'd be like, yeah, look at me. Like, I'm a football player. This is really cool. And then like 5 seconds in, he's like, I'm done.
It's too cold.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
I have no interest in doing this, but man, yeah, the adventures that we go on the road, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. That's okay. Are you coming out west this week?
I was gonna say, this whole more than one game a week thing. How do you do it?
Oh, you got the other one too? You got Fridays too?
I've got Montreal Hamilton on Friday night, and then on Sunday I'm out in Calgary. And because I'm a crazy person, I decided to take the 6 a.m. flight out of Pearson to land in Calgary, and then the red eye back on Sunday night out of Calgary.
Oh my God.
You know how that grind goes with the travel. But I literally was like looking at the schedule and going, the game's in Hamilton. I live in Hamilton. That means I could just have a nice little Saturday in Hamilton instead of like flying to Calgary and staying in a hotel and all the rest. So that I was like, I could fly in on Sunday and get it done. So of course the great Russian roulette gamble here.
You got to be careful with that, buddy.
Is flying in same day of the game and just hoping that everything is going to go smoothly. But no, I'm excited to go out and do Calgary. It's funny. I have, like I said, I had Calgary at Montreal, Calgary at Ottawa. I believe I have Calgary at Toronto later in the season. So I have basically all of their games in the East, and then I go out and cover the game that they have out against Toronto this week. So it's good to have a team from the East for me, obviously, going into Calgary. But I feel like I cover Calgary as much as I cover the Alouettes or the Ticats or the Argos or anything else. So
yeah, well, I mean, doing them out East, that means you haven't seen them win yet this year.
Yeah,
I mean, crazy the splits they've got right now. Like
it is funny because. Like talking to Shinetti after they were done their game in Ottawa last Friday night, he's like, kind of went in the locker room and everybody went, "We beat BC." I was like, okay, yeah, we'll get one of these. Eventually, things will come around. We'll be better. And it's one of those that I'm always intrigued by in the CFL. Of is a team like too relaxed because there's a trend developing, or are they led by a man in Dave Dickinson who's a realist and understands the fact that, yeah, it's okay, this is a long process and we'll come along? Because when I was reading into the stats on that one, it was like they only won back-to-back games, Calgary, last year, once. And it was like weeks 19 and 20 at the end of the season when one of them like didn't mean all that much kind of thing. So it's like, is there a trend developing where they have difficulty coming off of a win and tucking the ego in the back pocket and saying, let's go get another one? Because the really good teams, obviously, you start stacking like Montreal has done, where it's like, we probably shouldn't win this one, but we're gonna. We want to go on the road and have success, so we're gonna. It's like they just do it. And Calgary hasn't really done that. So, yeah, seeing them play in the East has been a little bit of them kind of going, I don't know, we're feeling it out. We'll see how it goes.
Marshall Ferguson with us on the Nielson Show today. I've got the Thursday, Saturday games. He's got the Friday, Sunday games for CFL on TSN this week. Obviously, the big story back in Edmonton is Trey
Rod
Ford.
Smith being a slacker?
Yeah. I mean, what's going on? I didn't even know you could ask for a week off. I don't have a week off this. I'm working every single week this year. I know some people. I've even some of our producer and directors like, I'm off next week. I was like, what? What do you mean you're off? Like, how do you can request off? So
it's good to be busy, my man.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, there's no shortage of busyness, that's for sure. What do you think of going to Trey Ford for Edmonton right now. I mean, in Edmonton, we're sitting there. A lot of fans are just going, look, if you're going to lose, you might as well at least see what you might have in the future, which is the exact same thing we were saying last year at this time. So
Yeah.
your thoughts on the transition and expectations that you would have for him?
Well, first thing that comes to mind is just that it's been super sloppy. Like that's, I think if anybody wanted to see the transition, and the thing is too in the CFL, and I always try to, I hate being a realist about this, but the fact is, like, Jeremiah Masoli was on the roster in Ottawa last week, and talking to people around the Red Blacks, and they're saying, yeah, he's dipping his toes back into the dress roster, and he's getting used to being in uniform again, and we're trying to kind of work him in, but it's Drew's team. And then it's super interesting to me, and I'll bring this full circle on Trey in a second, because Jeremiah is the 3, and he's really not, up to speed and ready to go and all the rest, but he's on the roster. Okay, so if, let's say, Drew Brown rolls an ankle last week or this week or next week or whatever, in the next couple of weeks, Dustin Crum's going to go into that football game, right? Like, he's the backup and they're going to play him. They're not going to throw Jeremiah to the Wolves coming off of that injury and the injury history he's had. He's only had 5 starts in Ottawa. And you're going to reach a point in about, I would say, a month and a half, where if Drew Brown rolls an ankle and Jeremiah doesn't go in, then everybody starts going, so why is he dressing? Like, what's the point in all of this? That, I think, has the potential to be, I think, less sloppy, because you're going to end up having people in the room who understand the dynamic and the history and where Jeremiah came from and what Drew is about. But in the CFL, you always have to be ready for one of your other quarterbacks to play. And I said to somebody, like, are you guys prepared at some point this season to actually put Jeremiah in the game? And they're like, well, wait, we'll see. We'll probably get there. And I'm like, you're going to have to, right? Like, Drew's not going to play every single snap of the year. That's just the reality of the Canadian Football League. Like, I always have to remind myself of that. So I bring this all around on Trey, because as much as people in Edmonton might be thinking, well, they've made the transition and now it's Trey from here on out, it's not. Like, at some point, McLeod is going to come back in and play, whether it's based on performance or based on injury. So I just feel like people have to be really careful of managing. Again, I bring up the word ego, but I really think it's just expectations on when you go to Trey. What does that mean? I hope he's healthy all year. I hope he plays the remainder of the season. I think he's earned the opportunity. I think Edmonton would get more entertainment value and maybe more wins out of seeing him play. But I also know that there's a very real chance, like we saw a couple of years ago, where he runs it off to the left-hand side, gets popped, which, by the way, terrible play call. He's not a designed run game quarterback, so we need to stop doing that to him. But he ends up getting popped, and it's like, well, now we go to the backup plan. And so I hope that there are not bridges being burned throughout this process. But when you handle quarterbacking situations poorly, it tends to burn bridges and it tends to make things awkward. And they've handled this pretty poorly, because if McLeod was being honest with himself and the team was being honest with himself, McLeod would have been out like 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. It would have been, and again, right, not even like a transition of McLeod sucks. We made a terrible choice. We gave him too much money. Let's cut his ass and move on. It's like, no. McLeod's a very good quarterback. He's not playing great, but he's not necessarily the biggest problem. So I just feel like you're still going to see Trey. You're still going to see McLeod, and they need to make sure that everybody's on the same page and that the vibes are good in the room, because that's the biggest thing to me in a quarterback room when you've got to use multiple players, a la the Toronto Argonauts, with the cloud that's looming over them. Is like, okay, so Cam Dukes, Nick Arbuckle, and then Chad Kelly coming back. It's like, if the vibes are not good in your quarterback room, it really, really messes up the on-field product. So I hope that's not happening in Edmonton, but I'm super excited to see Trey play.
Well, it's interesting too, because he's going to be going up against a Riders defense that has looked really good for most part this season. What are you seeing from that Saskatchewan defense, and how can a team try to take advantage of him?
Roland Milligan is great.
He's a stud, right? Like, we were on a call with Corey Mace a couple weeks ago, and we were talking with Milligan that day, and we were going to talk about Milligan. He was going to be kind of featured on the game. And I said to Corey, I said, I don't know if I'm hyping this guy up too much. And Corey's like, it's impossible to do. He goes, you can't overhype this guy. And he's an absolute game changer on their defense, man. He's so fun to watch. He's all around it all the time.
And that's the thing that I love in the CFL, is that we have linebackers and sometimes defensive backs, right? Like Marc-Antoine Dequoy is one of those guys that just kind of seems like no matter where the football is at the end of, and we know from doing play-by-play on this stuff, at the end of the play, you're just constantly saying his name. Is like, yep, there's Marc-Antoine Dequoy. He's tapping a guy down, or he's getting an interception, or he's making a play on the football. And for me, Roland Milligan has been that for them. The reason that I bring him up is I love watching Tyrese Beverette play in Montreal, really since halfway point of last year and really, really at the start of this season, because like we love the stat stuffers like Milligan, but I love defensive minds as coaches who craft their plan around the fact that I can play this person at free safety. I can blitz them. I can drop them in zone. I can trust them to cover a receiver in man. I can trust them to cover a running back in man. I can fly to the flats. Like, I know that their eyes are not going to mislead them and take them to somewhere it shouldn't go. So, yeah, Milligan's been kind of that guy for Mason, what he's trying to accomplish. It's super fun when you see a meshing of defensive strategy, system, and players. And for Mace to do that with the Saskatchewan defense in his first year there, I think that makes it all that much more impressive. Because I honestly thought in free agency that Mace's whole approach and Jeremy O'Day was going to be, let's go grab all of the Argonauts who already know your stuff and just drag them to Regina, and then we'll just plug and play and move on. And they didn't do that. Like they actually kind of developed from within. Got a couple of guys here and there, but it was not the mass exodus of double blue to green and white that I thought it was going to be. So I think that's made it all that much more impressive in my mind to see them piece it together on the fly and to do it without Trevor Harris being in. Like, I think that makes it even that much more special.
Do you think the CFL should step in and not allow Keon Hatcher to return to the BC Lions? Like, is it fair for Vernon Adams, who already has Justin McInnes and Alexander Hollins, to get Keon Hatcher back as well?
What I'm excited for is for VA to have, without telling anybody, to have like a spite game against the entire CFL for rumoring that Nathan Rourke is going to take his job.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so excited.
600 yards.
Yeah, like he's just going to come out and like break Dunnigan's record, and they're going to be like, "Wow, you seemed really fired up tonight. You know, you were like screaming after every touchdown." And
do you think this will help you get a job somewhere else next year?
Like, what do you? The idea that VA is like the MOP front runner and also playing for his job is unbelievable. Like it's so quintessentially CFL because it doesn't make any sense. And that's what I love about so many things in this league, is that it's like we could very much have a situation where, and again, I kind of think about like where McLeod was when Chad was around.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like Chad comes in, he wins the MOP and he gets all emotional and stuff. But you think about the lineage of quarterbacks in Toronto and going from, like, I remember when we're talking about Trey going in for McLeod, I remember the game in BC that you might have been doing that was essentially like end of the game, Dinwiddie goes over and goes, "Hey, McLeod, you're down. Chad's going to go in for the end of the game."
Freak out down on the sideline.
Just like lost his mind because he's like, "I'm not leaving this game. You can't take me
by like 35."
Right. It's like, dude, just like go sit for 3 minutes. We're fine. Like, you're going to come back. You're going to be our starter next week. We're going to get Chad a couple of throws here. And I get the idea of the old like Wally Pipp, and you never want to see somebody take your job like Tom Brady always said, because then they might never give it back because he did that to Bledsoe, whatever. But when I see what's been happening around the league, it's like we could have this weird situation where Vernon wins the MOP and then he never dresses as a Lion again. Like, if Nathan comes back in the offseason. So I do love the idea that BC has all of these toys that you mentioned with Hatcher coming back, and VA has been just perfectly playing all of the strings, and for them to be able to get somebody back like that who adds some length as well, because they don't, I mean, McInnes is obviously a long dude, but they don't have a lot of length outside of him. To give that increased catch radius to me is terrifying if I'm the rest of the CFL teams, because VA is so good at take the snap, quick little drop, slide up in the pocket, and when he slides up, he just kind of like puts it to a spot, like in between zones. And when you have somebody like Hatcher who can run through a window between linebackers at full speed and has a bigger catch radius, well, now he can catch it at full speed on the run between windows when VA just drops it in, and he's already off to the races, and everybody else that's standing around is going, "Oh yeah, okay, Hatcher." Like, it's, and then if you cover that, it's like, well, Holland's on a drag route underneath, or McInnes on a post over the top, or I don't know how you're supposed to defend them.
Crazy. Absolutely nuts. Last one before we let you go, just because you did bring up Rourke. Like, when Rourke went down and he ends up in Jacksonville and he moves around a little bit, I think at the time I was like, you know what, this is kind of what I wanted to see him have success, because he's a great kid. But this is kind of what we thought would happen. Like, not get a chance here, go somewhere else, not get a chance there, go somewhere else, not get a chance here, have a couple of workouts here, finally get frustrated and come back home. We're trending in that direction here, aren't we? Like, we're going to see him back in the league here in the next,
He will
12 to 18 months, I would think.
I am not an insider. I am just somebody who knows how these things go from watching year over year over year. And obviously this is a different dynamic because it's a Canadian quarterback. We're not used to that. But this is what happens. And like, so here, I'm going to inside baseball for everybody, okay? Going to pull back the curtain on this.
Yeah.
I don't tweet a whole lot because I feel like the app is just eating itself. It's a horrendous place to be in social media anymore. So I used to I lived on Twitter. I'm not on there very much anymore. I got asked by the CFL the other day. They're like, hey, you're writing an article on CFL.ca about the top 5 landing spots potentially for Nathan Rourke if you were to come home. I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay, well, we want to do a social post, but we just need you to tweet something generic that says, hey, okay, he cleared waivers if he comes home. And this is proof that the internet is broken and that Twitter's a terrible place. I send out this like most generic, useless content that the CFL basically said, we're not telling you how to use your Twitter account, but if you'd like to do this, we'll screen grab it and then we'll use it as part of the promotion for your article. It's fine. So I send this out. It gets like 50,000 impressions. And my mentions this entire week have, since Monday clearing waivers, have been people telling me he's selfish. He wants to be a water boy more than he wants to play football. He should just come home. He's un-Canadian because he's not waving the flag hard enough for us. Like,
he hates our country.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, here's what's happening, everybody. He's trying to maximize his money because we live in a capitalistic society and he has a skill that is worth a lot of bleeping money. So if he's going to try and maximize the amount of money he can make, he's going to do that for as long as he can until it no longer makes sense. Oh, yeah, but then I see in my mentions, well, he made less money as a practice roster guy than he could have made as a star. He could be getting millions in this. I'm like, he's in a league that pays quarterback. If he were a number 2 quarterback, it would be like a $3 million base salary.
Yeah, if he gets to be a number 2 somewhere, you're right. Yeah,
and so the whole idea is like, okay, so he's not going to be a number 2. Okay, so he's a number 3, and then somebody breaks their leg. Congrats. Now you're a number 2. Like, if you go in and you prove yourself the way he did in the preseason with Jacksonville, he has the potential to earn. So all that's happening right now is he is exhausting his opportunities so that when he is old and gray, he doesn't have to look at any of his family members and say, I'm sorry I didn't try to get you generational wealth. That's all he's doing. And again, it's not just about money, but the reality is he will come home at some point if this does not work out. If it does work out, it's going to be one hell of a story. But I genuinely think he's going to come back. And when he comes back, the thing I'm actually interested in is if BC does move on from whatever their situation is, whether it's VA next year or down the road, and does somebody come dive bombing in an organization that's deeply in need? They saw what happened in BC with him, and some owner or owners or comes in and says, we can't not have him. This is our golden ticket. And they just open their wallets and say, we don't give a damn about the salary cap. We'll find a way to make this work. So I love the Nathan Rourke story, but I think the point in the timeline we're at right now is just let him live, be patient, and enjoy wherever he goes. Watch him, support him, care about him. Because Dustin and I do. And we just think it's super fun to watch what's happening with his life.
It's a wild ride right now, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Marsh, I won't keep you any longer, man. Sorry for keeping you so long. Great conversation, buddy. I appreciate it.
Always have a great call tonight, and we'll cross each other in an airport at some point in the next couple
for
of weeks.
sure. Probably be stuck at Pearson at some point together. So that's great. See you later, man. There you
Thanks,
go.
buddy.
That's Marshall Ferguson. He'll have the call on the Friday night game, Friday Night Football with the CFL on TSN. Just a good chat. Good chat with Marsh. As always, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. He's got that Calgary game this week as well. So I got Thursday, Saturday. He's got Friday, Sunday. A Rams fan is in. It says Dusty on the call with Marshall on color would be really interesting. And you know what? We actually did Grey Cup together last year on the radio call for Grey Cup. I had the call and Marsh had color, and he's a former Canadian college quarterback. Like, he sees the game in a brilliant fashion. And it's I found myself a couple of times at Grey Cup last year. Like, I call the play like, and then he starts to break it down. I'm like, yes, very good point. Like, a very knowledgeable dude. And I love having him on the show. Really good chat today. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. We're 14 away from changing 200. before 8 o'clock, we can do that. Hammer the thumbs up. If you haven't subbed to the channel yet, we'd love that as well. We just surpassed 9,600 on the journey to 10,000. We have more CFL talk for you coming up. Geroy Simon's going to join us around 8:30. Update in a little bit, but let's get to I Got Beef. And Trev, if you got any beef, you can slide on in here. If you have a beef, you can text it to us at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. And of course, I Got Beef is brought to you by Acme Meats. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme. Serving Edmonton for over 100 years at 9570 76th Ave. I'll tell you right now, I'm a little hungry right now. I could go for an old pepperoni stick or some beef jerky from the fine folks, Corey the Butcher, over at Acme Meat Market. I hope Corey the Butcher's coming to the Esty. I think he'd look great in a tuxedo or something. I think it would look real nice, real nice. You can text your beefs to 780-218-9999. If you are watching over on YouTube today, you can throw your beef straight in here as well. I got tabs on that. YouTube Trev, what's your beef today, buddy? What do you got?
I got beef. Okay. This might be a little bit of a stretch. Oh, which way should I go? I'm just trying to think because there's.
I'll let you think because I got a beef. If you want to decide, or do you want to lay both out?
You go.
I'll let you decide. So here's my beef. And this is a weird beef to have because now that we're in the YouTube game ourselves, algorithms are very important, right? The algorithm push out our stuff to people, more people sub, more people comment. The algorithm is what it's about. But my Facebook algorithm right now is driving me crazy. And I'm not going to make today that show where I go all MJ versus LeBron, but I've made the mistake of clicking on too many articles where they're just like, this is why Jordan's a GOAT. And I click on it and I read it and I'm like, oh, this is not why. Like, this is horrible. This was I hate read it.
Yeah.
And then they send more of my hate reading my way. And I'm like, I want less of this stuff. Give me I want the other side of the discussion. So my Facebook algorithm is just driving my anger even more. And I got to stop clicking on it. But every time I'm like, this is such a lame ass case. I got to look at it. Then I hop in and I start arguing with people. And then I just get sucked in again. I don't want those anymore, but I can't get away from them every single day. Like if I was to bring up my phone right now, I pop on here. I bet you the first or second thing that comes up is some sort of thing about the dream team, the dream team this, dream team that. Oh yeah, here we go. First thing. See, the very first one that comes up, from an NBA floor to carrying the USA flag, LeBron has now done it all. Is MJ's legacy in question?
Yeah,
did we just witness a twist in the GOAT debate? In the GOAT debate, it's just every 5. Here's another one. The very next one. Michael Jordan played 5 seasons, 420 games fewer than LeBron. Also, he won it's just
so frustrating.
It's all over my feed, man. And I guess I bring it on myself, but I got beef with algorithms. Man.
Yeah.
They're driving me nuts right now.
No, that's fair, Dusty. It's so true with algorithms because I'm in the same way. What it is, it's time spent on that post, right? So it's like, oh, this Dustin guy, he spent quite a bit of time on this post, so we're going to recommend a lot more of this on his feed. That's kind of how it works. And so you're just you're going through it, but you're just like, I don't want this, so I feel that. That's very relatable.
It's like my wife posts Facebook pictures of our kids, and I like to go on and see them, even though I took half of them. And then, that's the only other thing I use Facebook for is to just argue with people about the GOAT debate. And I just,
yeah, it's so annoying. I got beef with the Facebook algorithm. It's changed so much. LT and I were talking about it. You never even see the friends anymore, the photos out there. It's just all just random stuff, and you're just like, no, you're always Xing it. You're like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this to every post. So that's a very good one, Dusty. I'll go into mine now if that's okay. And this kind of
give it to me.
I totally forgot that this was a beef of mine until I hit the road this past weekend. As we know, the Nasty Bash, I bounced pretty early. I wanted to go home for the weekend. And I'm always in the left lane. I'm fast, Dusty. I'm fast. I'm speed, okay? And I got
young
beef.
George Russell.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got beef with people that have the audacity that look to the left while I'm passing them if I'm passing you, you have no right to look at who's getting passed by. It drives you, just make the whole thing awkward. It drives me bonkers, and I totally forgot that this was a thing. But I'm driving, I should have the right to be like, okay, who am I passing here? And then, I look and I see, but then the second that I'm looking to my right and then they look to the left, it's like probably the worst 2-3 seconds of awkward silence you ever have. And then you both look straight and you pretend that you didn't see each other, but it's the person on the right that initiates it. So you don't look, you're getting passed, you just look straight. The guy that's passing has the right to, or the person that's passing, they have the right to see who they're passing. When I'm getting passed, Dusty, I never look to the left of me because it's awkward. I know for a fact that the person passing me is going to be looking at me, and I don't want to initiate that awkwardness. And I know it's like 3 seconds, but it's like, but it drives me bonkers, Dusty. So I got beef with people that look at me while I'm passing them. It's seriously
I like
annoying.
that one. I like that one. Where do you come in on this, people? Hit us up in the nasty chat. Hammer that thumbs up. We're 2 away from changing 200 before 8 o'clock. All right, we've got we got a lot of beefs that are rolling in here. This is a wild one. Chris over in the Paris Jewelers inbox today at 780-218-9999 says, I got beef with whomever stole my chives basket off my back pad. They were just sprouting, full-grown tomato plants right beside it, and they took the tiny chives. How does that happen?
That's weird.
To drop back to a Barry Hinson reference in there as well.
How does that happen?
I didn't think I'd ever read a message to the Paris Jewelers inbox of somebody that had their chive basket stolen. Like, who's going around stealing chives from other people? That's insane.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's really weird. T-Mac, the rugby guys in this says, I got beef. I need those Broberg expectations.
We haven't quite dove into those yet, but it was nice to hear Craig Button highlight Broberg in the Hlinka Gretzky a few years back because he absolutely crushed it.
Yeah, we'll get to Broberg expectations at some point in the summer. Hey, changing 200. Trev, give it to me. Give me that 200. Let's do it. Give it to us. Road show.
Changing
road
200.
Show. Changing 200 on a road show. Not bad. Not bad
at all.
This one is in from Mr. Mark in Lacombe. Says, good morning, guys. I'm coming to Edmonton for a few days next week. Any chance I can come on in and buy a hat? Curved brim, of course. Thanks, podcast guy. Mark, yeah, feel free to pop by. I think Matty Warren's got some hats kicking around. I don't know if we have any curves, though. You might have to go straight brim and then curve it, which I did accomplish with my first Edmonton Sports Talk hat. All right, 780-218-9999. We need somebody to play kind of easy trivia for us this morning. If you are listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, let it be known that the Nielson Show is brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Visit their website at southfortchev.com. If you'd like to play kind of easy trivia right now, fire Trev a text back in the studio, 780-218-9999.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I just wanted to say something quick, Dusty. I don't know why this happened, but the last time we returned after a sports update, the song that you had played, people were saying, I think it was Surveyor Brett, and even on my end, I couldn't hear it, which is weird because then you just played a clip right now and it came through perfectly.
Yeah, no, well, I would have played that last song off of the radio DJ program that we use.
Okay.
So maybe the output on that is set up differently. So I just... okay, with that being said, I'll have to have you play the ticker.
I have returns as well, so I can play the return after this one if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, play the return after this one, and then we'll come back around to a different song, maybe a little bit later on. We got Geroy Simon coming up around 8:30. If you want to play kind of easy trivia right now, let's do that. Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual gift certificate to Mr. Mike's, the first ever official signed-on client of EST. As we close in on a year, they were the first ones to hop on board. So huge shout out to Mr. Mike's. Text Trev, let them know you want to play 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We will get to 3 questions too many. We will get to That Hurts today, in which I might need a little advice from you during That Hurts. So we'll get to that. And then Geroy's going to pop by and the rap for William Huff, Scalding Hot Takes. We got a whole conversation coming up during Scalding Hot Takes today, as well as we have to get something figured out on that front. Right now, we've got a sports update, which is brought to you by our partners over same sponsor as Scalding Hot Takes today, Claiborne Services. If you're looking for work, and some of you might hate your job, or maybe you don't have a job. If you're looking for work right now, or you just want to hop on a job for 3 or 4 months, they'll train you, they'll get you ready, you'll get a ton of cash, and then you can go about your business somewhere else if you want. It's totally up to you. ClayburnServices.com. Trev's got more on that with a sports update coming up here, and we need somebody to play Kind of Easy Trivia. 780-218-9999. Take it away, Trev.
CFL Week 8 kicks off tonight as the 5-2 BC Lions take on the 2-6 Blue Bombers. A guy by the name of Dustin Nielson has the call on that one. Kickoff starts at 6:30 Mountain Time. In Edmonton, the Edmonton Riverhawks are in Victoria this fine Thursday. They'll be taking on the Victoria Harbour Cats before their 3-game series in Port Angeles over the weekend, which of course you can hear all games at edmontonsportstalk.com. Also in Edmonton, the Stingers play on Sunday in the West semifinals, where Zacticum will not be on the court for that one. You can also listen to this game at edmontonsportstalk.com. Around the world we go. The women's Team Canada soccer team won a big one yesterday as the Canadians defeated Colombia by the score of 1-0. Vanessa Shields was the only one that got on the score sheet yesterday. She scored in the 60th minute with a beautiful header. Up next for the women's team is a Saturday match against Germany, who is ranked 4th in the world. Also yesterday, Canadian Ilya Haroun won bronze in the men's 200-meter butterfly. This was the first time a Canadian has ever won a medal in the 200-meter fly, which also means he set a Canadian record with the time of 1 minute and 52 seconds. Canadians Felix Auger-Aliassime defeated Russia's Daniil Medvedev 6-3 and 7-6 yesterday. The 23-year-old secured his spot in the quarterfinals after defeating the world-ranked number 5. It was Aliassime's first win over Medvedev in his last 8 encounters. Clayburn Services. Take your career to the next level with Clayburn Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeymen, bricklayers, and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace in mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.clayburnservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call. 780-910-6728.
All right, everybody, let's keep rolling here. Whale and the Wolf, our guys, gotta love them. A couple of those boys were at the old Nasty Bash on Friday, putting in real good shift too. Good seeing Raimai and Lucas, who's still unbeaten at the boys' fantasy league this year. The Dunya's a joke. Lucas is just walking all over the Dunya. And Matt, I know Matty Iwanek will be like, well, Dunya's, but last year when I was walking all over our league, they were saying the exact same thing. Congratulations, Lucas. Unbeaten on the year. Keep rolling, buddy. Keep rolling. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up and sub to the channel if you haven't already. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, thank you very much for being here today. And just fire the link to EST to some of your friends, and they too can hop in on the fun. We're going to have Geroy Simon coming up. Geroy's going to pop by around 8:30 this morning, talk about the transition to Trey Ford, get some health updates on a few guys, Kevin Brown, the usage of Javon Leak if Kevin Brown can't go, things along those lines. A tough matchup against the Riders. DeMarcus Christmas, they brought him in. When does he get into the mix here as well? So we'll get into that with Geroy coming up. The wrap for William Huff a little bit later on, Scalding Hot Takes for Clayburn Services. We got a discussion there because we've ran into a bit of a dilemma today on Scalding Hot Takes. So we'll get into that. I still got to do the Cool Bet Canada hotline of the day. Trev, remind me if I don't get to it. I don't know how I got sidetracked last time, but I do want to get to that football game tonight. Let me call and look at some player props there and just cheer for overs. So we have a very exciting football game tonight. 3 questions too many coming up. Trev's still trying to track somebody down. Well, there's a lot of people who want to get in. So Trev's going to grab somebody for Kind of Easy Trivia. We'll get to that here right away as well. If you have any questions for 3 questions too many, you can fire those over. We can certainly get to that. You know what? Maybe I'll do the Cool Bet Canada hotline of the day right now as Trev gets us ready for Kind of Easy Trivia. The Bombers lines tonight, Winnipeg at home, 5-point underdogs. Man, I can't remember the last time the Bombers would be a 5-point dog at home. That's crazy. BC Lions are a great football team, though. They're getting Keon Hatcher back. They're 5-point favorites on the road. The total in this game is set at 50. BC's got a great offense. Winnipeg's offense has not been what we expected it to be, but they got Ontario Wilson. I asked Ontario Wilson yesterday on a call if he also likes the nickname Manitoba Wilson, and he said he was okay with it. As for props go, look at this. Vernon Adams. This is the type of season that Vernon Adams is having right now. His player passing prop is at 323 yards for this game. Kolaris is at 271. VA over 2.5 passing touchdowns plus 150. Zach's number set at 1.5. Like Adams is having that type of year. Set at 2.5 right now. Player receiving yards. Alexander Hollins, 86.5. Justin McInnes, 87.5. Dembski, 56.5. And Ontario Wilson, 63.5. I think that's probably the way to, well, that being said, they might throw Gary Peters on him tonight. And Gary Peters is one of the best shutdown corners in the Canadian Football League. Let's see. 5.5, 5.5, 4.5. Brady Oliveira, 69.5 rushing yards. Stanback, 66.5. I like Brady at 69.5 more than Stanback at 66.5. I wonder if the Bombers are going to want to try to control the ball a lot simply to keep it out of the hands of Vernon Adams. Maybe that's what we do here. Brady Oliveira over 69.5 yards on the ground. Yeah, let's do it. Brady Oliveira over 69.5 yards on the ground tonight against the BC Lions. That'll be your Coolbet Canada hotline of the day. Brady Oliveira over 69.5 yards. Maddie and Huss today on the Lock Shop at 11 o'clock right here on EST. Full CFL preview of the weekend. All of your picks coming down the pipe as well. Trev, who do we got for kind of easy trivia today, buddy?
Today, Justin of Balgoni will be giving it a go.
Justin of Balgoni. He's going to join us today, trying to get his hands on that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casual place ever, the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. And if you're like, oh, man, they do have great food, but do they have the 6 o'clock or lager? Yes, they do. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're going to absolutely love that. So head on in to Mr. Mike's. Justin of Balgoni. Trev, you got the ticker and everything? We're good to go there? Pretty sure you have it back there. Yeah, okay, we have the ticker back there. Club Beat Loop locked and loaded, ready to go. Let's bring in Justin this morning. Justin, good morning. How you doing, man?
Morning, Justin. Good. How are you?
Good, man. You ready to roll here? I'll start the ticker after read the first question.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Let's do it. Question number 1. Who is now the Elks' number 1 starting quarterback?
Trey Ford.
True or false? Trey Ford wears number 99.
False.
How many points do you get for scoring a goal in soccer?
1.
Was it the Canadian men or women who won in Olympic soccer yesterday?
Women.
What device did the Canadians use to cheat?
A drone.
Boom. 5 for 5. Give it to him. Pay that man his money.
No! No! My God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment. Totally. People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV. That's stupid. It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just
I'm
stoked. Stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Congratulations to Justin of Balgoni. Winning kind of easy trivia today. He's off to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. What a time to be alive. Got to be happy with that. Van Owen over on the Nasty Chat today says, my Bombers have gotten old and slow and hurt. These aren't your Bombers from the last few years, but I still kind of feel like there's gotta be a good team in there somewhere. We'll get a look at it tonight against the BC Lions. BC won a close one last time, but they took a knee on like 2 or 3. They definitely could have punched in a few more points in that last game over there. Vasila Moose saying offseason is boring. CFL season is not boring. Any Oilers offseason might be a little bit boring for some of you, but we have these other people who watch and listen to the show who are what we like to call sports fans. And they're very excited to listen to all different types of sports. And that's what we like to do, in the middle of the hockey off season. Look at the wrench. Tommy the wrench slides in this morning. Good morning, Nasties. Checking in from the desert. Tommy, you have a great day at Gretzky Hockey School. But hurry on back because YouTube Trev's stealing your job on the oil stream. So you're going to want to hurry back on that one. Geroy Simon coming up here. That hurts is on the way as well. But let's get to 3 questions too many today, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where Mitch from Park Mazda is flying into Winnipeg today, where he's going to watch the game tonight, then drive a Mazda all the way back to Sherwood Park, because that's what business owners do. Mitch from Park Mazda, huge CFL fan, and he loves driving across 3 different provinces. Let's bring in YouTube Trev for this. Trev, you got to play 3 questions with me today, buddy. And do you have a Twitter account, Trev? Let's give that Twitter account a little bit of buzz now that it operates properly.
Yeah, now that I got it sorted out, only took me 8 months, but you can follow me at YouTube_Trev, and it'll pop up. It'll be the first one to pop up because just getting so many followers these days. I'm just joking. But
oh wow, look at this guy.
I think I got like 4 followers yesterday. It was unbelievable. So yeah, it's
what?
It's pretty
what
cool.
A day.
I upload. I don't really upload. I guess I post. You know what I'm doing. What if you want to know what YouTube Trev is doing? I'm not doing that much these days, but every now and then I'll post on there. So go check it out. YouTube_Trev.
I saw that on Twitter yesterday. 65% of the people preferred your starting lineup to my starting lineup for the forward group for the men's Olympic team. If you missed it yesterday on the oil stream, first of all, go back on the oil stream. But I'll just lay these out for you one more time. 65% of the vote to YouTube Trev's lineup, 35% of the vote to my lineup. Trev had McDavid between McKinnon and Bedard, Crosby between Hyman and Brad Marchand, Braden Point between Marner and Reinhart, Stamkos between Stone and O'Reilly on the classic old man line. And then I went McDavid with Hyman, and I did elevate Quentin Byfield. I saw some people coming at me yesterday. They were like, Dusty, Byfield, left wing, top line. Are you serious? I said, talk to me in 2 years, man. Talk to me in 2 years. Then I had, I just love this line, Crosby between McKinnon and Bedard.
That's good.
Love that. Point between Stamkos and Brad Marchand. Suzuki with Wyatt Johnston and Sam Reinhart. Yes, Marner was off my starting 12. But Marner and Cousins were my extra forwards, and YouTube Trev had Cousins and Byfield. Almost 500 votes, and 65% for future general manager of Team Canada, YouTube Trev. Congratulations, buddy.
Oh, thanks, Dusty. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That has 500 votes. Holy crap, that's incredible. No, I defended your. A lot of people. Well, there was a few people that were coming at you for the Byfield take, but it's like, come on, I defended that for sure. In 2 years,
He's on that team.
He's going to be on
sure.
that team.
It's just a matter of where he slides in. Yeah. If he's not on the team, who's running the team? The Kings management group. I think we got an interesting race here. To YouTube Trev, you're at 668 followers on Twitter, and Glue Guy is at 784.
Damn, I know
he's at Jason Milne.
Yep.
And you're at YouTube_Trev. Who gets to 1,000 first?
Oh, that'll be fun.
Glue Guy or YouTube_Trev?
I like that. I know it was really close. Like last week, we were like neck and neck. It was like the difference was like 10 followers, and we were both at like 640, 650. And then obviously the announcement of Reed Wilkins.
He's going to be co-hosting with Reed Wilkins.
Yeah, he had a jump yesterday or this last week. So I noticed that because I was kind of keeping tabs. I'm like, what's Glue Guy at these days? And
classic Reed Wilkins bump.
Yeah, the Reed Wilkins bump. It's there. It's a thing. And so it was cool to see. But yeah, first to 1,000. Jay, you're on.
It's on now. The race is on. Jay got that Reed Wilkins bump. Let's give YouTube Trev that Nielson Show bump here. YouTube_Trev. Go give him a follow on Twitter right now. Look at Tommy just throwing bombs over in the nasty chat right now. What a surprise. There's no Draisaitl news. Everyone is away on holidays. So now, we'll stay at the edge of our seat. I'm more laid back. I'm relaxed in the seat right now. This is a real comfortable chair to sit in for. Imagine if I was Santa Claus. This is the type of chair Santa Claus would have, right? I mean, come sit on my knee. Ho, ho, ho. Tell me what you would like for the holidays this year. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, let's get into it. 3 questions, too many today. You can send your messages to 780-218-9999. I love this one. This is a total early August Oilers question, but let's get to it anyway. Guys, what are the chances that Bouchard could hit 100 points in a season at some point? It sounds ridiculous, but Trev, I mean, going to be on a deadly power play again. What do you have last year? 84?
Yeah. I mean, I like his chances. The last defenseman to do it was Erik Karlsson, his last year with the San Jose Sharks, which was just crazy. That whole story was fascinating because he had some of his worst years in San Jose, and then in his final year, he just popped off and had this best year offensively of his career. So, if anyone could do it, I know Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes were both on pace for doing it last year, which was crazy because two defensemen haven't got 100-point seasons in the same season since it was early 90s. I did a video on it on my channel. And
would that have been, what would that, who was that? Bork?
Bork?
No.
I forget.
Yeah?
I think it was Bork. And was it Coffee? I think those
in the same season?
Or was it even longer?
No, Bork maxed out at 96. He had 96, 95, 94. It was probably Brian Leach is who it probably was. Brian Leach must have had 100 points.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying
Did you say 90 points?
100 points.
Yeah, so here, Brian Leach had 102 points in 91, 92. Now let me see. 91, 92 leading scores. That's got to be the year. Because who would it have been? Which other defenseman had 100 points in one season? Let's see. Leach and
drawing a blank here, Dusty.
Brian Leach. Oh, only Brian Leach that year.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe this has actually never happened.
Was it 90? Was it two defensemen with 90 points? Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe it was 90
points. I'm trying to think if it was two defensemen with 100 points, man. That's got to be a
actually, I don't think it's ever happened then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little rusty on that. Well, sorry about that, but it was crazy. What I'm getting at is they were chugging along at a really a historic rate last year, and they came up short. But I mean, I think offensively speaking, Evan Bouchard fits in with the Quinn Hughes and the Cale Makars of the world. Quinn Hughes doesn't have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and that's one thing Evan Bouchard's got going for him. So not only is he going to be feeding them the puck, but he's got something that Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar don't really have, and that is obviously something that the Oilers fans got so used to seeing, and NHL fans around the world got accustomed to last year, the Bouch bomb, right? So he's going to be I wouldn't be surprised if he gets close to, he's going to be a 20-goal scorer.
I'd say it's a 20-80 chance that he gets to 100 points. I think me giving him a 20% chance to get to 100 points is actually really positive. Some people might be like, what? I think it's really positive to put the chances that high.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. I don't know if next season, I mean, you look at what he was able to do this year. It was his first full year on the power play. He's only going to continue to grow. You saw what he was able to do. He was second in team scoring in the playoffs this year for the Oilers, which is just crazy. And when you Draisaitl, he scored more than Draisaitl, right? So it's incredible to see what the players have in Evan Bouchard. I think if anyone's going to do it, he's right up there with Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar. It's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of it's when he does it, I think. And it could be as early as next season. I really do believe that, Dusty. I think he will get it eventually.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Question number 2. Guys, I'm forcing you to replace one player on the Oilers' top power play unit with somebody else who's not currently on it. One off, one on. Who do you switch out? That's a good one. I right off the top of my head, I immediately thought Nuge out, Arvidsson on for the one-timer on the left half wall, Mark Letestu style. If you know, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a fun question, actually. You're forced to take one guy off the power play and put one of these other, it could be Skinner, could be Arvidsson, could be Kane. 780-218-9999, or you can hit us up in the nasty chat as well. Trev, what do you I know you love this question.
Yeah, no, this is a good one. The untouchables obviously is Bouch, Draisaitl, McDavid. They're staying on. You're not taking them off. So that just leaves Hyman.
Hyman and Nuge.
And this is, Dusty, this is really tough because Hyman's the best net front presence guy, and like he was the backboard, right? People were calling him that. He's just.
I wouldn't touch him.
No, you wouldn't
him.
touch Hyman at all. But like the thing about Nuge is like I remember this was like 2 years ago, and some nasties might remember this, but when Nuge was injured, the Oilers power play started off really good that year. And he got injured, and he was out for maybe 2 weeks, and the power play was just terrible without him in it. He's actually so good. If he's not the primary assist, there's a good chance he's the secondary assist, and
He's a perfect complement for those guys.
He's so good,
right?
and you see it so often when he's in his spot, and he does the backhand pass to Bush, and then that can usually go to Draisaitl. Like Nuge is like so underrated on the power play, and people say like he's replaceable. I don't think, but I probably, in saying that, I think maybe I'd put Jeff Skinner on there for Nuge. Maybe I'd switch it up. I'll put Jeff Skinner. I think he's got a better shot.
More of a shooter?
I think he's got a little bit better of a shot than Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and as well, just the word's out that Jeff Skinner really relies on the people he's playing with. So if you're playing with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, they're giving you the puck on the power play with the extra man. I like his chances. He can absolutely rip it, and he's very shifty. He's a really shifty skater, so I think he'd use that to his advantage. And he's a hell of a player. I think he'd fit in well. That's probably the route I'd take, Dusty.
780-218-9999. That gets you into the Paris Jewelers inbox. Could win text of the day for A&W here on the Nielson Show, presented to you by South Ford Chevrolet. Question number 3. Guys, you know if AM Nasties will have a chance to vote on the Esty Awards this year? This is more of a question meant for Matthew Iwanek, I think. Maddie sent us an email. Were you on that email yesterday with the schedule? Yeah. Maddie is all in on the Esties here. He's like laid out. Yeah, like we got an email yesterday titled Estes on air nomination plans. He's on it. He's not messing around. Starting on August 12th, which will be the first day Eric and I are back together, we will openly discuss 2 categories a day, looking for listeners to come up with nominations and ideas, openly discussing who should be favorites to win the respective categories. I have attached a schedule and have overwritten the Google Doc that Zach created. I love it.
Wasn't good enough, Zach.
He overwrites Zach's Google Doc. Poor Zach creates a Google Doc, and Maddie's just like, nope, this is the Google Doc. So good. Man, this is such a good behind the scenes business. I have attached a schedule and have overwritten the Google Doc that Zach created and to share with us. The categories will be discussed each day, attempting to define certain categories to give the spirit of what the award is, plus some nominations for various awards. Feel free to offer your own feedback / suggestions on this schedule / plan / categories, but unless it confirm any changes, this is how we will proceed.
Right on.
What a beauty, man.
That is
what an absolute beauty. All right. So, I mean, I guess we still really don't know who's supposed to be voting on this, but bring it up on the Hangout today with Matt. Hangout will be coming up. Jasmine's going to be in on the Hangout today. She's one of the newest members of our team. Going to be starting on the Hangout regularly, preferably a couple times a week. In September when we launched the Reed Wilkins Show in the afternoon from 3 to 6 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We'll get to that hurts for the personal injury lawyers at SBLLP coming up before 9 o'clock. We got a little scalding hot takes discussion to get to as well, but we're going to get to a sports update because we've got Geroy Simon locked and loaded. He's waiting for us. So let's get to a sports update for Sit and Sleep with YouTube Trev, interim general manager of the Edmonton Elks as they get set for the Riders this week. He is on the way next. Don't go anywhere.
CFL Week 8 kicks off tonight as the 5-2 BC Lions take on the 2-6 Blue Bombers. A guy by the name of Dustin Nielson has the call on that one. Kickoff starts at 6:30 Mountain Time. In Edmonton, the Edmonton Riverhawks are in Victoria this fine Thursday. They'll be taking on the Victoria Harbor Cats before their 3-game series in Port Angeles over the weekend, which of course you can hear at edmontonsportstalk.com. Also in Edmonton, the Stingers play on Sunday in the West semifinals, where Zach DeCum will not be on the court for that one. You can also listen to this game at edmontonsportstalk.com. And around the world we go. The Women's Team Canada soccer team won a big one yesterday as the Canadians defeated Colombia by the score of 1-0. Vanessa Shields was the only one that got on the score sheet yesterday. She scored in the 60th minute with a beautiful header. Up next for the women's team is a Saturday match against Team Germany, who is ranked 4th in the world. Also yesterday, Canadian Ilya Haroun won bronze in the men's 200-meter butterfly. This was the first time a Canadian has ever won a medal in the 200-meter fly, which also means he set a Canadian record with the time of 1 minute and 52 seconds. Canadians Felix Auger-Aliassime defeated Russia's Daniil Medvedev 6-3 and 7-6 yesterday. The 23-year-old secured his spot in the quarterfinals after defeating the world-ranked number 5. It was Aliassime's first win over Medvedev in his last 8 encounters. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months interest-free, and be entered to win your purchase up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor. This weekend, you also get free local white glove service on your purchase with full setup and installation. That's all. Yeah, that's Sit and Sleep. Sorry, it got scribbled up at the bottom. Sit and Sleep. There's scribbles on it. It's like I didn't read this.
I scribbled on it. Sorry, buddy. That's me. I scribbled on it for Eric. I should have told you. It's my bad.
Okay. That's good.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
All right, it is 8:33 in Edmonton. Lieutenant Eric is on vacation for the next few days, so I am riding with the show live from the Delta in Winnipeg, where I'm in town for the Bombers and the Lions tonight, and then off to Regina on Saturday for the Edmonton Elks and the 5-2 Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Obviously, lots of news around the Elks as they continue to look for that first win of the season. Trey Ford is going to have the opportunity to start a game. Got some guys who are a little bit banged up as well. We'll get into that a little bit. That Hurts is on the way still before 9 o'clock. And the scalding hot takes discussion as we ran into a bit of a hot takes dilemma right now that we've never really faced before. So we'll get into that as well. And then the wrap for William Huff. Right now, we've got the interim general manager of the Edmonton Elks, Geroy Simon, joining us on the show this morning. And Trev, if Geroy's ready, you can bring him in. Geroy, how you doing, man?
I'm great. How's it going? Good morning.
It's going good. First of 2 games for me this weekend. Fired up to do this Bombers and Lions game tonight, and then off for the Riders and Elks, which should be a good one. Mosaic's been awesome this year. Starting I did their last game there, and it was like 30,000 people. It was outstanding. So hopefully with the 5 o'clock start on Saturday, they have a big crowd there as well. But boy, nothing to talk about with you guys this week as the transition to Trey Ford. Tell us a little bit about the process there. And we were talking about on the show earlier in the week, like, did you just play well enough when you went to him that he kind of forced your hand a little bit, or is this something that you'd been thinking about for a while?
Well, we've been closely monitoring Trey throughout the year, and having a slow start and not. We were playing well on offense for a bit there, and then we had a few injuries and things just started to sputter, and we gave him a couple plays in Ottawa. He did all right, but there was still a little bit more sputtering, and then when he got the opportunity, he played so well. We just decided that it's time to make a change.
So it's interesting with Trey Ford because we saw him last year with flashes, and we were talking about it. It was, I mean, you guys probably had the same conversation. I don't know how you wouldn't win. You're sitting here in the Edmonton media, and you're going, well, this team hasn't won, but they don't really have a quarterback problem, which is weird for teams that go on losing streaks. Usually, a lot of it hangs on the quarterback, but MBT was putting up some pretty good numbers. So what do you need from Trey Ford at the quarterback position to help lead this team to finally find some team success? I know it's not all going to hang on him, just like all the losses weren't hanging on MBT, but What do you need to see from him to view it as a success right now?
The biggest thing that Trey Ford brings, other than all the excitement and the big plays and just running around and making things happen. He brings hope. It's weird that McLeod is such a great leader, and he's done such a great job of putting up points and getting guys in the right positions and giving them opportunities. But when Trey goes in the game, it's a different excitement. It's a different feeling, and it seems like the defensive guys perk up, the special teams guys perk up, and it's more. He brings a level of confidence that almost no one else in the league brings, because there's always the all right, watch this, let's see what he's going to do, and he seems to always run around, make a play, make a throw that you don't expect, but then you're like, holy crap, he's done it again.
Well, he had the one in that last game where he escaped from Sales and went out a little fake and then turned body down the leak. And it's tough for me as I'm calling it like a game that was a blowout, but I'm like, I know it's late in a blowout, but that was, highlight reel stuff, right? And that's what he's capable of. And that glimpse has got to have you excited, right? Just to see what he's like. How many guys can do those plays? Like, it's wild.
Well, that's the thing. And, I played with a guy very similar to Trey, in Casey Printers, and
yes.
The one thing you realize with a guy like that, when the coordinator calls the play, what you have to realize is you're always on. You always have the opportunity to get the ball, regardless of where you're at in the progression, where you're at in the play call. I told the receivers yesterday, just always know that you might get the ball, so you better be running hard and you better get to your spots.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's where I was going to go next. I was going to ask you, in your career, did you play with a quarterback that had you on your toes so much, and moving from a solid pocket passer like MBT from one game to the next, is that a challenge as a receiver to sort of just flip that switch? So you're like, oh man, I remember I could still make a play here because he's going to extend it.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just a different feeling knowing that when you're with a traditional quarterback pocket passer, you sometimes when the play is called, where the ball's going. It depends on coverage and things like that, but with a guy like Trey, you just don't know, because he could see something and just decide, I'm gonna take a shot here, whether you're on the backside running a go ball or running a quick screen on the front side. So you always have to be prepared. You always have to be running hard, and you always have to know that you have an opportunity to make a play.
I know Kevin Brown's been limited in the practice this week. You guys have Javon Leake. You worked him in a little bit more at running back this past game than you had earlier, even though he's been getting some touches consistently throughout the year. How do you manage return game if he needs a bigger workload at running back? Just kind of lay it out there for Cobb and Mitchell instead, like we saw at the end of last game.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have Javon Leake, running the ball, getting more touches as a running back. That's the good thing about our roster, and we have versatility where you can put Gavin Cobb in, you could put Dylan Mitchell in, you can even use Purefoy, and there's a couple other guys that can actually return. So the way we built this roster is to be very versatile and to do a number of things. I know it hasn't shown in the win column, but there's very talented players on this roster, and I continue to believe that. It's just a matter of everybody coming together and putting it all together and finishing games out with the win.
With Lewis being a little bit banged up as well, what's the depth like in the secondary right now, Geroy?
We have Devondre Bonham, we have Leon O'Neal. They weren't on the roster, but we decided to.
You can move O'Neal around, right? Because he was starting linebacker for you, right?
Yeah, so he can play Sam linebacker. He can play strong safety. He can even he can even play a little bit of halfback. So again, that's the versatility we have, and we can move guys around quickly, and we're putting more strength on the defense as far as giving guys an opportunity that were not on the roster last week.
Geroy, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot today, and best of luck this weekend, man. We'll catch up again soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go. It's Geroy Simon. He is the current interim general manager of the Edmonton Elks as they look for that first win of the season. Going up against a pretty good Riders team, but Trey Ford could make things interesting. I mean, the Riders' defense could just straight up lock everybody down like they've done to some other teams, and it ends up getting ugly. But I'm happy I'm calling this one, I guess is what I'll say. I'm excited to be there for that game. All right, now with that being said, I'm gonna tie this into that hurts right now. Trev, you can bring that up and you can hop on if you want here and see Nielson Show. Lieutenant Eric finally getting this. You know what? Quickly before we get to that hurts, I do want to throw this out there. We started Edmonton Sports Talk last September with myself, Tommy, Rick, Maddie, hired YouTube Trev. Shortly after we started, we brought in Zacticum on a practicum, and he ends up getting a job with us. So it's been a pretty big grind for the first year and I'm gone a lot with work, obviously with other stuff. But like barely anybody's taking any days off. Like Eric's off right now. Like we had obviously Christmas with me gone at Spengler. We kind of got some time off for some people too. But Trev, like Maddie's basically forcing us. Maddie and HR Daddy are like forcing us to take vacation time and take days off. So shout out to the entire team that we've got at EST for being. I mean, it's just like everybody
Absolutely.
needs to take time off because we haven't taken any time off.
Yeah.
So. It's kind of crazy.
It's crazy. Your Honor actually just walked in. I just said hi to
Oh,
Your
did he?
Honor because obviously he's a beauty. But
Yeah.
no, it's so true. Like that's what I was saying. Like it was a grind, but I mean I wouldn't have it any other way. It was totally worth it. This last year has been the best year of my life. I can honestly say that. Since I've been in Edmonton, it's been life changing, Dusty, and all thanks to you, buddy. I appreciate it, and I would do it all again, man. It was a grind, but you got to earn your stripes and
You gotta get some downtime here.
Oh
though.
yeah,
You gotta
and
get
see,
some rest.
yeah,
You gotta
and
get a
see,
little
like
bit of
that's
time
the thing.
off.
Like Manny was
Yeah.
just telling me, he's like, you've got 20 days off, 20 vacation days off, and I'm like 20, and I'm like okay, and he's like that's not including.
What are you gonna take?
He's like that's not including weekends. I'm like I'm taking off the whole month of September. He's like no, you can't do that. but I was like,
I think we're allowing some carryover into early next year.
Yeah,
So
which is crazy though.
Yeah, it's
20
just
days.
it's tough to use. Yeah. I mean, but I think most of it is because we love our jobs. It was just like it's fun to come in. So, it's not like, oh God, I hate my job. I need a week
I
off.
will say
just
it's long hours, but it's not hard work, right? Like I've never just been like absolutely fatigued when I go home kind of thing. If I did, it would just be because it's long days, long hours kind of thing. But it's you love it, man. I absolutely love it. It's a dream job for sure.
I love VR Montenegro from the Nasty Chat says, I haven't taken any days off either. I'm here all day, every day. And I can't wait till we offer you the opportunity to watch on YouTube for 12 straight hours.
It's going to be awesome.
I think that's the absolute best. Or listen on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com the entire day, which is going to be really exciting. If you're watching over on YouTube right now, hammer the thumbs up. Let's get into That Hurts, presented by the personal injury lawyers at SBLLP. Leave it in the hands of those who can look after you. These guys will have you taken care of. They've got the experience to gather evidence, advance your claim to ensure you get fair compensation. And the best part is you don't have to be all scared about the process. They look after you. www.sb-llp.com. Click on personal injury or call 780-438-5281. No need to feel shame. Let SBLLP handle the claim. Now, I'm not technically complaining about this because I love this job and I love my other job as a play-by-play guy. But this is like a physical that hurts because as of today, over the next 11 days, I'm broadcasting 3 football games and 14 hockey games over 11 days. So I've got 17 games over 11 days. I'm mixing in a Tuesday morning show as well. And what hurts is right here. This right here, this is going to hurt. So I'm looking for tips on how I can keep this going with 17 sporting events to broadcast in the next 11 days.
Yeah.
4 days of 3 hockey games, 1 day of 2 hockey games, 3 other football games. Right now, my key is I drink this throat coat tea when I'm at home. It's actually called like throat coat. It's pretty good. Put some honey in there. Try to have a tea every morning on the show. But like Monday, Tuesday, I'll do 3 hockey games, come in, do 3-hour morning show, go do 3 more hockey games. If I can get through that stretch with a strong voice on Wednesday morning, I feel pretty good heading into the weekend. But Trev, does anybody have tips? YouTube, 780-218-9999. I mean, I just I'm kind of going fingers crossed, and I'm not going to be like losing my mind on a second period even strength goal in game 2 of the Hlinka Gretzky.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. That does hurt, Dusty. I was thinking it. I was thinking it quite a bit this week, just knowing your schedule, and I was like, oh gosh, like the voice, like how's the voice gonna be? Because that's a lot of talking, man, and just the elevation of your voice, right? When you do have those big moments, you don't want anything crazy to happen. So the only thing I can suggest, Grandma would always just be like a spoonful of honey. Spoonful of honey.
I usually have like 2 spoonfuls of honey in my tea.
I don't like honey.
She's talking just straight up like, you don't like honey?
No. Oh gosh, no. I like honey garlic.
Oh man, I love honey.
But,
I love honey.
Yeah. So, but I just straight up like put the honey on a spoon and then just do that, and it works. It works a treat. So maybe that's the only thing. And I remember using it quite a bit when my throat was sore. It would be crackling. I do that, and it just lubes up those cords of yours, right? So do that in between periods, intermissions, Dusty, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm going to get one of those squeeze tubes of honey, and after every game, I'm going to have Craig. I'm going to have Craig Button squeeze it into my mouth. You're going to look up in the booth at the Hlinka Gretzky, and I'm going to be like this, and Craig Button's just going to be like,
is that enough, Dusty? More.
More. Give me more, Craig. Give me more.
That's so good. That would be so good.
Anyway, man, I got to somehow find a way to get through it. You know what will be key is sleep.
Yep.
Which I don't do very well, but I will be able to. I'll be able to hopefully get some sleep in, and that'll help the situation.
Yep. I worry about your sleep, Dusty. Yeah. You need to sleep more. I know a lot of nastives have talked about it, but sleep. If you're sleep deprived, it actually can. Sleep's one of the things that can lead to a longer life. There's studies on this, so. If I don't want to scare you. Sleep is very important.
Well, I'm going to go back to bed here. Actually, my plan is I'm almost fully prepped. I got about, I don't know, I probably got like another 45 minutes of CFL prep. And then, and then I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep for like 5 hours.
Okay,
today.
Good.
So I'm very much looking forward to that. It should be pretty good. So yeah. Anyway, if you're listening later on, if you want to slide into my DMs or something and let me know. I know who was it? Anthony said that tea is disgusting. Actually, I like the throat coat tea. I've gotten used to it. I don't hit it all the time. Usually I'll just go like peppermint tea or something like that. But the throat coat really helps. Rod Z says vocal naps. Don't even know what that means. Although it'd be funny if like I'm out with people and I don't talk to them for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I text them and be like, hey, I'm having a vocal nap.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just always show them your phone.
Yeah. Humidifier at bedtime.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yep.
We got my wife collects humidifiers because we have kids. She's got like 9 humidifiers in the house. So I'll just set it up. I'll just set up like 9 humidifiers and I'll just sleep in this humidified room like this. That'll be fun.
That's good. That's good.
All right. Okay, let's get to our scalding hot takes conversation that we have to have, because this is did Jasmine just walk in?
Jasmine just entered the building. Out of Jazz.
I can tell how excited you were. I can tell how excited you were.
So excited. That's
Jasmine, awesome. Gager, Maddie, hang out today. All right, we got to get into this because we need to figure out what to do. Scalding Hot Takes is brought to you by Claiborne Services. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They're hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing that they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.claiborneservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call at 780-910-6728. And Jeff, I know you're in the business side over at Claiborne. If you have any suggestions for us, because you probably deal with situations all the time at Claiborne, so here's the issue we have today. And YouTube Trev came up with some takes. I could have come up with some takes. I mean, I was exhausted last night, but I've got a couple pretty good takes on my phone that I'm kind of saving. I don't even want to really give them away. That is a pretty funny one. That one could have probably that would have been a good one. Anyway, I'll save it. But here's the issue. Lieutenant Eric is not here today. Now, sometimes when I'm gone, the boys will still do scalding hot takes, and there's that potholder they throw back and forth. Our issue today is Lieutenant Eric's gone. He owns the mitt and the potholder right now. So what would YouTube Trev and I actually compete for? This is the issue that we have. Trev, what do we do? So if you have a solution, nasty chat, text line, the next time one of us is gone and we have both of the things already, what do we compete for? How do we do this? We're at a loss of ideas right
Looks
now.
like we need something else. We need 3 pot holders, I guess. I don't know. This is a serious
But
conundrum.
I mean, could it also be a spot where
Eric could have all 3?
that person also has it and it's
then
gone?
it's
Yeah, you can
just
have
a
all
rotating
3. So
door of just the same problem.
there's only one thing I can think. Here's what I think. Here's what I think, Trev. It has to be something not physical, but an advantage in the next hot takes.
Okay, that's good.
So like we compete, and whoever loses only gets 4 takes next time, or whoever wins gets an extra take, or if somebody's supposed to go first, but you wanted to go first, you get to pop in and say, I'm going first instead. I'll take it away.
I like this.
I
like it.
I think that's what it has to be. I don't think it can be anything physical. I think it needs to be either a punishment or a reward.
I think a reward or an advantage for the next Scalding Hot Takes makes the most sense. What would that be? So what, the five extra points in Your Honor's scoring system or something like that, right? Like,
that's not a bad idea.
Get the wheels going on here. Nasties, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Talk to Gage about that. I don't mind that one. Like a bonus 2 points
or something.
Now, it's probably going to be pretty rare, really, that somebody's off that has both of the things. So it could be a pretty big little bonus if it's going to be such a rare spot. Like all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, Dusty's on vacation. He's got both things. There's 10, or like you steal a take from somebody. You get to read their takes before and steal one of their takes and put it on your take list.
Yep.
That's not a bad idea either.
I like it.
I like that as well. 780-218, but it can't be something physical because we could be stuck.
No, yeah, it can't be physical
In a spot again where somebody has all 3.
It would be this exact same situation.
Yeah. Sully says the loser buys lunch. Greg says hot Italian sausage from the Italian Center.
Not bad.
Big Uke says that we should just get Normology shirt from the Nasty Bash and give that away. Burglar is in it, says the loser has to grow out a mustache. That'd be great for you.
Okay with that.
Compete for everyday bagel. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. Fergie's Prostate says, Dusty, I was a drill instructor for 5 years. Your voice is a muscle. It needs to be warmed up. Talk to yourself in the morning in your room to do just that. And go easy on the liquor. Listen, Fergie.
There you go.
I mean, the odd time on the road, I'll dabble in a couple of spice rums, but I'm not a party boy on the road. I'm usually prepping for a game. So, yeah. Tate says the winner gets to set the loser's hot take lineup. So that before the next event, you know how sometimes you place your takes and like strong one here, you get to really mess with it. That's not bad. I think it needs to be a little bit bigger than that.
I think it does too.
I think if we were to go head to head today, whoever won would get to steal a take from the other person next time.
Perfect. You take, that's it.
I get to steal one of your takes.
Do you get to steal just like one of my takes, or because it would only be the 2 of us? Yeah, so that would make sense. Yep.
Well, this is the thing. Like, it's the 2 of us. I win. The next time we do hot takes, when there's 3 of us, or the next time I take your take.
Yeah.
Like I take one of your takes, and maybe I give you one of mine. Like I get to flip takes. It's like in the NBA when you get a pick swap.
Yep.
It's a take swap.
I like it.
You're playing for the take swap.
That's brilliant.
That's not a bad idea.
Brilliant.
That's not a bad idea. In fact, it might be such a good idea that maybe we do Scalding Hot Takes tomorrow.
Locked.
And a take swap is on the line moving forward.
Okay, yeah.
We'll see if Gage is available tomorrow to pop on and judge.
That's good.
Talk to him today, Trev. See what he says.
Sweet. I like that because I was gonna say like 2 of my hot takes, but if that's the case, I'll save them for tomorrow.
Save them
because that could be fun. I like this a lot. That's brilliant, Dusty.
Man, we always come up with good ideas, don't we? That's real nice. All right, take swap on the line tomorrow. Double dose of a little Claiborne services for you tomorrow on the show. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. You know, William Huff does a lot of great stuff, but I'm pretty disappointed right now when I'm doing the show from this room, this random hotel room at the Delta, that Bruce and the Dream Team haven't wrapped the wall behind me. I mean, I texted him earlier in the week. I said, hey, man, I'm staying in room 1202 at the Delta. I'm going to need that room wrapped by the time I get there to do the show Thursday morning. And look at this. They didn't even travel to Winnipeg to do it for me just for 2 days.
They're slacking.
First time I've ever been disappointed. First time I've ever been disappointed.
You think since 1952 it would have already been wrapped?
You don't think they've gone on the road since 1952 to a hotel room for a couple of days and wrapped a wall so it would look good? Probably have. And not for me. Unbelievable. All right, what'd you learn on the show today, Trev?
Oh gosh. I learned.
Did you learn how fun it is?
I learned how.
read
Oh
sports
yeah.
updates?
I guess sports updates. I learned that I can do them. I can do them subpar. Yeah, I'd give myself
You did a
at
good
least
job,
a
buddy.
7.
You did a good
And
job.
you know what? I think it's fun when you're not 100% perfect. That's kind of why I started the channel. Like my channel's name's Above Average. I'm above average. I'm not perfect. That's kind of the shtick there. But it was funny. Like the last sports. I know some people were saying clip that because as soon as I finished reading Sit and Sleep's liner. That was like you can't write that up, right? Like that was kind of funny. So I learned that I did it okay, better than I was expecting. So that's what I learned today, Dusty.
I learned that there are people that don't know some of our older bits on the show, and that's going to bring us to our sound of the day today, which was the Barry Hinson clip, because we had Sarah earlier today over on the Nasty Chat being like, why does everybody always say my wife or put my wife in capitals? Well, here it is. This is your sound of the day.
Marcus had an off game. Marcus was absolutely awful. That's about as PG rated as I can say it. He was awful. Our guards were awful. Our 3 starting guards had 1 assist and 7 turnovers. They must think it's a tax credit. It's unbelievable how our starting guards played. And let's talk about our big guys. 2 for 11. How can you go 2 for 11? My wife can score more than 2 buckets on 11 shots because I know my wife will at least shot fake 1 time. But those guys aren't listening. They're uncoachable right now. There was a sniper in the gym. Can you see that? I mean, we had guys falling down. I mean, we had a guy snipered at half court. 2 guys snipered at half court. It was unbelievable. I thought Navy SEAL Team 6 was out there. I mean, our guys were coming across it. I mean, just nobody around them and just fell down on the ground. How does that happen?
Too good, man. Barry Hinson, a legend lives on. The legend lives on with Barry Hinson. That'll bring us to our text of the day today, which is going to go to Bones. He's going to get that text of the day for A&W. Got to get in on that frozen A&W root beer made with natural cane sugar, natural flavors, blended with ice. And the most refreshing part, for a limited time, when you buy any size frozen A&W root beer, you get a second one for free. That's no charge. My goodness. Double the flavor, double the chill, double the joy at one delicious price. Most A&W drive-thrus are open 24 hours. Let's get to this one from Bones. YouTube Trev, make sure you get in touch with Bones today for text of the day. Reed Wilkins leaves Big AM Radio for EST.
How does that happen?
That's good. That's good. Use the clip from Sound of the Day to get in on text of the day for A&W. Trev, what's coming up on that hangout there? What do we got? Gager and Jasmine and Maddie all locked and loaded?
Yeah, they're ready. And there's a lot of laughs going on right now. I think Jazz.
So many laughs.
Jazz is very excited. So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait I'm going to be tuning in as should you. It'll be awesome. It'll be a good epi. And Gager, obviously, he's always brilliant. So it's going to be a fun one.
Hey, huge shout out to the Delta in Winnipeg for having incredible upload speed today. We did not have a single internet issue.
This was the best we've ever had, I think, Dusty. Like,
yeah, and I'm just on Wi-Fi. Like the upload speed's like 50 Mbps or whatever it is.
It even sounds like it's really crisp. So that's great.
We're on fire right now. I absolutely love it. All right, Hangout's coming up. If you want to, if you're new to Jasmine and you want to know why we brought her on board to co-host the Hangout once or twice a week moving forward, starting in September, you're gonna want to watch today. She's got a ton of potential, man. She's terrific. She's gonna be on with Gager and Maddie on the Hangout today. Maddie will have the lock shop with Huss, and then 2 guys in goalie coming up with Cass and Gager today. That is presented to you by the Sandman and GS Construction, where they are also hiring. Everybody's hiring. Go get these jobs. Take these jobs. Make some money. Make some cash. All right, I'm gonna go sleep. That's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go back in
Get
that
some
bed,
rest, Dusty.
and I'm gonna have a good. I'm gonna have a good nap today. That's, you know what? I'm glad everything went well today. Trev, good job on the updates, buddy. Proud of you. That was good. Hammer the thumbs up before you leave. The Nielson Show is brought to you by Southport Chevrolet. Kind of jam packed. Another one. We just threw hot takes into a Friday. Also coming down the pipe tomorrow, we're going to catch up with the host of the Sports Cage. Talk a little bit about the Riders. Barney Shinkarik, he's going to join us just after 7 o'clock. He's an AM Nasty like many of you. He listens to the show all the time. So he's going to join us. Who else we got tomorrow? Luke Gazdick is going to join us tomorrow. And who else did I book tomorrow? I got one more guest already booked for tomorrow. Did I tell you who it was?
No, you did not.
Oh, Baker, head coach of the Stingers.
There
We're
it
going to
is.
set up the Stingers game. So that'll be a lot of fun as well. And we'll be recapping this Bombers-Lions game that I'm calling tonight for the CFL on TSN. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're listening on the podcast later on, that's great. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, small dose of Whale and the Wolf and an excellent hangout coming up today. And if you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up and give us a sub before you leave. Nielsen Show, proudly presented to you by Southport Chevrolet. Go see Daniel and his team out there. They will look after you. For YouTube Trev, I'm Dustin Nielson. Good road show in the books. Have a great day. I'll talk to you tonight on TSN. Take it easy.